Okay. I think I figured it out. So with that being said, we can move forward into roll call. Pro Tem Parman, whenever you're ready.
All right. As usual, I'll be calling you 3 at a time. Just raise your hand so we can get this over with pretty quickly. Okay. All right. Starting with Senator Adamique Murcia McMillan. Murcia, got you. Adamique McMillan. All right. Senator McKay, Recht Akonda. All right, I got Akonda. There we go. Oh, I got Corey. There we go. Awesome. Senator Bateman, Gertz, and Little. Got you, Bateman. Got you, Gertz. Senator Little. I saw you earlier. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Senator Selva, Fahey Rossi. Selva, Rossi, Fahey. Senator Mouget, Shaler, Wilkinson. All right. Shaler, Mouget, Wilkinson. Promozic, England, Wang. All right, I got you 3. Awesome. Senator Hazlett, Yanam Hall. I know Hazlett will be absent. Yanam will be absent. Senator Hall. All right. Senator Shanahan, Ryan, and Lucky. All right, I got you, Lucky. Senator Shanahan. All right, Senator Ryan. All right. Senator Sam Gonzalez Denton. Denton, Gonzalez, Sam. Oh, sorry, Ashley Gonzalez. My bad. Forgot there's 2 of y'all. Senator Martin Adams Pendleton. Martin Adams Pendleton. Okay. Abston Sohos Diaz. Abston Sohos Diaz. All right, no Diaz. Ferguson Mayman Dean. Mayman Dean Ferguson. Okay, got you 3. Pedroso Ascanio Rudolph. Pedroso Rudolph. Ascanio absent. All right. Medley Neyra, Darl Deek Tooks. Oh, sorry. Oh no, my light just fell. Tooks. Once again, if I miss you later on, just text me. Let me know you're here. Senator Ross Chabot Kalink. Chabot, Senator Ross, and Kalink. Absent. Okay. Senator Lewis, Alvarez, and Waters. Oh, I found Kalink. There we go. I apologize if I'm pronouncing these incorrectly. Lewis, I got Waters, and I just need Alvarez. If you're here. No Alvarez, okay. And no Lewis, okay. Senator Stinson, Robert Gonzalez, and Rudd. Oh, Lewis, you're here, okay. Stinson, Gonzalez, Rudd, and Senator Kill. All right, let me just count for quorum. All right, we just barely have quorum, so don't leave.
Well, that's good. Quorum is verified. And with that, there is a couple senators, Harmon, that I know are still struggling to hop on because of the unauthorized situation. But with that, verification of the quorum has, been verified. So we're going to move to the corrections and approval of the journal. Is there a motion to approve the journal from September 2nd, 2020? Senator Lewis.
She's it. Here's the last of it. Somebody's about to buy it.
Pedroso, do you move? Journal? Guess not. Senator Sohos.
So moved.
Senator England.
So seconded.
I appreciate it. And a reminder for any senators, if you guys, are able to turn on your cameras, please do so. I'd love to see you guys. It's always nice to see you. I know Zoom is a little different and it's distant, but we're still here. We're still doing our business. So with that being said, are there any students and non-budgeted RSO comments? I received none through the public comment form. If there are any students and non-budgeted RSO comments that are present, please raise your hand. Okay, we see one. Jack Rowan. With that, Jack Rowan, you may begin whenever you're ready.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. President. Tonight I just want to talk for a very quick second about forwarding letters. I know y'all are at the edge of your seats about it, but there were 3 issues that have come up very recently with the forwarding letters that I just want to talk about real quick. The first thing was an issue that happened with the music seat 1 forwarding letter. I completely understand. I've heard that there were some clerical errors with it, but you guys have a very qualified and very great candidate for music seat 1, and I hope you guys are able to solve the clerical errors very quickly, because I know that they really want to serve in the Senate and do a lot of great work. And it has, it's been a bit sad to see that, they've just been held up by just, weird procedural things. A second thing that I wanted to talk about was the forwarding of Arts and Science seat 6. I noticed in the forwarding letter that the student body president still forwarded a candidate, even though there have already been rulings by the investigative board that there was, and that the process of selecting a nominee for the seat was not correct and was not legal. I'd simply point the members of the Senate to the current lawsuit going on of Geraldine versus DeSantis, in which there has been an issue raised as to whether an appointee to a position, this one specifically being the Florida Supreme Court, is valid when the person does not fit the qualifications. In this case, the forwarding did not follow the qualifications because there was not a complete interview process. And again, the investigative board has ruled as such, and there will be a court case about it once you all approve Supreme Court nominees. I think, and the final thing I want to talk about tonight is the supervisor of elections position. At this point, there is still no person who has been forwarded for either the supervisor's office or the deputy supervisor's office. That puts the, and so far that is very far outside of the bounds of the election code. The election code states that there must be an appointee by the last week of the spring semester. And we're now at a position in which even if the student body president nominated someone tomorrow, there would not be a supervisor of election in time for party and candidate registration. That's a big problem, especially because, to the best of my knowledge, there is no official guidance as to how parties and candidates are going to be able to nominate themselves. And that's going to be, I think it's going to be a very big problem for student government this fall. And it's something that could have been entirely avoidable. So I hope moving forward, the people who are involved in that process take the necessary steps to avoid the problems that I've recently outlined. Thank you.
Thank you, Jack. I appreciate you bringing those concerns. I've definitely, made it a point on my part to let the executive branch know that there are some things that they could be doing to address those issues you brought up. So I appreciate you for coming and letting us know and hearing your concerns. So with that, are there any other students who would like to speak in the student and non-budgeted RSO comments section? Any other students? If so, please raise your hand. Going once, twice, all right. Seeing none, we will be moving forward with the calendar. Special introduction and announcements. I don't have any for today. messages from the executive branch. Are there any members from the executive branch present on the call that would like to make a statement? I don't believe so. All right, we'll continue moving forward. Messages from agency and bureau directors, SGA organization officers, and employees. Any messages from agency and bureau directors, SGA organization officers, and employees, please raise your hand. Seeing none, messages from the executive cabinet. Any members from the executive cabinet wishing to make a message? Oh. Colby, are you able to speak?
I am. Thank you so much for allowing me to speak. I just wanted to give everyone like a few updates. The cabinet has been working tirelessly throughout the summer and getting acclimated to this new year. But just from our end, Aaliyah has been meeting with the Panama City representatives, and she's just building that relationship there, as well as finaling the Rise Up platform. Super excited for everything that she's done to create this, and I think everyone should see a lot of difference from it. Jalen has met with Andrew from Art with Impact to bring a mental health workshop to FSU. I think especially considering the times we're in, like the efforts that he's making to do this is going to be so helpful for students. He's also working to finalize the undergrad and graduate mentorship program, so I'm excited for you guys to kind of see that within the next coming weeks. He's working on an informational video right now. Rowan has been working to make our social media community calendar, and this is going to be used to share RSO events, some seminars, and a lot of information. It's going to do a really good job like trying to connect everyone together. And Sophia has completed getting some HSLU banners, and we're super excited that you can see those now on Legacy Walk, and she has been working on her Angel Drink initiative, as well as communicating with TAPS to build a relationship with students and really relate some advocacy moments. And then last thing I wanted to say was just to encourage everyone to sign the pledge. I know that these are unprecedented times and everyone is doing their best to stay safe, but especially in these times, students are looking to their leaders. So please do your part and encourage everyone to sign. Not only is this creating a healthy competition between our rival school, but I think it's creating a nice sense of unity within ours. So I just would like to encourage all of you to look everywhere on social media. It's on our Instagram, but just go ahead and sign that pledge. But thank you so much for letting me speak.
All right, with that, Rawan would also like to speak. Rawan, are you here?
Yeah, all good.
Rawan?
Awesome. Just want to thank Colby for the updates. We have been working hard. She leads us in all of our efforts, so we thank her. She does all the behind the scenes work, and she is always leading us in the best way. But just a quick announcement that I wanted to give for any students that are here and all the senators, of course. Y'all are obviously a facet for change. The executive cabinet's a facet for change. We all know there's multiple on campus, but one that I would hope you take with you in all your spaces to advocate for students is the task force. The racial anti-racism task force is up and running. Each subcommittee as of today has had all of their meetings, and then there will be the entire task force meeting again next week. So, advertise that to all the students, all your RSOs, all your leadership circles, all your friend circles, because I know that task force was formed out of a lot of student mandates, and those are mandates, AKA they need to be met. So, just spread that message, bring it with you in all your circles, and we hope to see you there in public comment, because I think it's a big deal whenever everybody hears from you, especially because it's faculty and staff that are and community members on the board. So it's not just us students. So you can make your voice heard in Senate, you can make your voice heard to the executive branch, but if you make your voice heard on that task force as well, there's no way we can't hear you. And again, we value your mandates. So hope to see you there. Have a good night, everybody.
Thank you, Rawan. Always so inspirational. So with that, we'll be moving forward into the messages of class councils. Are there any messages from the class councils today? All right, seeing none, we will move forward again. Are there any messages from the Congress of Graduate Students? Any messages from the Congress of Graduate Students? Seeing none, we'll move forward one more time. Messages from the judicial branch. I don't think there should be any. We have some justices up for confirmation today. All right, so moving forward, messages from the Union Board and SOAR Board. Are there any messages from the Union Board and the SOAR Board? Seeing none, we'll move forward to messages from the Campus Recreation Board. Any messages from the Campus Recreation Board? All right, seeing none, a report of the SGA Accounting Office renaming The remaining balances of Senate projects is $32,000. The Program Allocation Committee has $50,000. The Resource Travel and Allocation Committee has $60,000, and the Organizational Fund has $4,000. Report of the Senate liaisons. Any senators wishing to make a liaison report? Senator Selva, you can go ahead whenever you're ready. I also did want to say I have the information you sent me through DM on GroupMe, so I'll make sure to send that in the chat.
Right, thank you. So hello, Senate. So JSU has an exciting line of programming in development for the upcoming Jewish holiday season. If you know any peers that like to get connected or involved, please let JSU know. And like President Jaraldik said, I'm gonna drop the link to the GroupMe and Instagram in the chat so you and any students interested can stay up to date on all upcoming JSU events and announcements. Thank you.
All right, with that, Senator Martin.
Hey everybody, so some announcements from Peace Jam Southeast. So we had 2 info sessions last week talking about how Peace Jam is going to run this semester. We're still going to be able to do coaching virtually. So virtually going into Leon County schools, whether it be elementary, middle school, or high school. So really excited about that. And also mentoring on an online platform as well. Really cool things that we're doing virtual peace hours every Wednesday and Thursday at 5 p.m. that I will drop in the link. If any of you have any organizations you're really involved with, please message me. We'd love to collaborate. We're doing service, educational, and social events. Tomorrow, we're doing an event with talking about homelessness in America, how it affects different communities through this game called Spent. So if you're interested, please come. And that's all for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Martin. Are there any further liaison reports that would like to be made? All right, always do virtual claps, guys. It's always important to support our senators. For Senator Selva, for Senator Martin, virtual claps if you can. If you can't, it's always okay. But moving forward to the report of the committees. Chair Leckie, Judiciary, could you raise your hand, please, so I can unmute you?
Hey, everybody. So Judiciary met and confirmed 4 out of the 5 Supreme Court nominees, which we will hear tonight. And as I said in the Senate chat, really important nominations tonight. We passed Bill 72 by Senator Promozic. And also, on another note, the COVID task force has decided it's going to meet regularly on Saturdays at noon. So anybody here is welcome to join. Just reach out to me or anybody else involved, and we'd really love to have you involved.
Thank you for that update, Chair Leckie. With that, the chair of the Budget Committee, Senator Dean. Chair Dean, you may go ahead whenever you're ready.
Thank you, President Jaraldik. Budget just had an informal meeting before Rules and Calendar met, so we met today at 4. And it was really just to go over budget, what budget week's going to look like, and have all the members on the same page. And it was a really good, productive meeting, so thanks to everyone that came. Back to you.
Thank you, Chair Dean. With that, we will move into a report by the Finance Chair. Chair Adamik, could you raise your hand, please? Oh, awesome. Welcome to the call, Chair Adamik, and you can go ahead whenever you're ready.
Thank you, Mr. President. Finance met today at 4:30, and we tabled bills 39, 57, 75, 68 at the request of the sponsor, and we passed Bill 58 on to Judiciary, and we tabled Bill 87 because the sponsor was a no-show.
All right, thank you, Chair Adamik. With that, we will move into the Student Life and Academic Affairs Committee report. Chair Martin, please raise your hand. Thank you. You may go ahead whenever you're ready.
Okay, so SLAW met yesterday. We passed Resolution 74, sponsored by me and Christian Sam. Resolution 76, sponsored by Leckie and Gonzalez. We passed Resolution 77, sponsored by Harmon, and Resolution 79, sponsored by Adams and Gonzalez. We thought we had a table Resolution 75, but it was a mistake, so we have no unfinished business, and excited to hear it on the Senate floor.
Awesome. Thank you, Chair Martin. With that, we will go into the Internal Affairs Committee report. Chair Gonzalez, whenever you're ready.
Thank you, Senate President. Hello, Senate. So I met yesterday at 5 p.m. We tabled Bill 92, sponsored by Senator Chabot, and we interviewed and forwarded candidates for Veterans Union Assistant Director and Chief Financial Officer, which we will be hearing tonight. And I'm very excited to get them seen by you guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair Gonzalez. With that, before we go into the rules and calendar, we will allow the Investigative Board Chair, Chair Chabot, go ahead and give her report for the Investigative Board Committee. Chair Chabot, are you on the call? There you are.
Hey guys, IB met at 6:30 right before Senate. We did chair and vice chair elections. Myself and Senator Little are chair and vice chair. We're hoping next week to have more hearings. I know we've gotten a few more submissions for evidence and testimony, which we will be hearing. And then after we finish with those submissions, we will hopefully be calling in members of the executive branch to sort of hear their side. And that's about it. I'll let you guys know in the group chat when our next meeting date is, and take care of yourselves. I love you all.
Thank you for your hard work, Chair Chabot. With that, we will go into the report from the Rules and Calendar Chair, Chair Harmon.
Hello. So rules, that was probably the best meeting I've had since I've been pro tempore. So good job, chairs. It was not that stressful, but we got a lot of work done, and I think we had a healthy debate. So we passed Resolution 48, failed Resolution 55, passed Resolution 57, passed Resolution 63, passed by acclamation Resolution 73, which we hope you pass today. We hope you pass everything else today, but Resolution 75 failed, and Resolution 78 was tabled, and all other legislation that is left in rules is tabled until the sponsors do come to rules, which I encourage you all to, so that we can get our work done. And our next meeting is Wednesday at 5 p.m. again, to get through all the business that we have. And hopefully we'll hear candidates next week. As you heard at the beginning, there were issues with the forwarding letter. I have been emailing back and forth with the Chief of Staff and the Secretary of Appointments. So we'll figure it out eventually. But yeah, to my knowledge, we'll be able to hear at least one candidate next week. Thank you.
Thank you, Pro Temp Harmon. And when it comes to the Survivor Advocacy Ad Hoc and the Racial Inclusivity and Justice Ad Hoc, they will be meeting later this week. So with that, that concludes the report of the committees, and we will now go into Senate confirmations. And so if I do say your name and you are up for confirmation, please raise your hand so that I can unmute you and we kind of go through that process for confirmations. So we have Jake John Raymond Alvarez for Senate Parliamentarian. We have Alex Haley for the VSU Assistant Director. Tristan Gilbert for the VSU Chief Financial Officer. We have Julie Ducey for Chief Justice. Blake Matthias for Associate Justice, Russell Manila for Associate Justice as well, and then Jorge Alfonso for Associate Justice. And please make sure you raise your hand. Looks like all of you are on the call, which is awesome. I will unmute you. And if I did say any of your names wrong, please correct me. I know how I feel when someone says my name wrong, so please. I will do my best to say it correctly if I did not at the beginning. Okay, all of you guys are unmuted. So with that, so the process for this is basically going to go as follows. You each will be given 5 minutes for your opening statements, and anything you do not use in those 5 minutes for your opening statement will be yielded to your closing statements. There will be a round of technical non-debatable questions for all the candidates. And after that round of technical non-debatable, we will go into rounds of pro and con. Each round will last 3 minutes. After those rounds of pro and con, you will all be given an opportunity to make a closing statement with the time that you have yielded for yourself for your closing statement. And then after that, you will be able to, we'll be able to take a vote on you guys individually. So with that being said, Alex Haley, could you please raise your hand? There you are, I see you. And then you can unmute yourself. It should ask you to unmute yourself. So with that being said, we're gonna start doing the opening statements. When I do say your name, your 5 minutes will begin whenever you start speaking. And with that, I'm just pulling up my timer with the 5 minutes. And we will start off with the candidate for Chief Justice, Julie Doucet. And if I did say your name wrong, please correct me because I'm not sure if that's how you say it. So you can go ahead whenever you're ready, Ms. Julie.
Hi, thanks. I'm Julie Ducey. I'm a 2L at the College of Law. I'm coming up for the seat of the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. Last year, I was a judge on the Elections Commission Board, so I have a lot of experience and background. I know the student statutes fairly well. I know the Constitution. One of the reasons that I became a part of the Elections Commission Board was to become more involved in SGA and involved in the community and the school. And that's something that I hope to continue throughout my law school career, and Chief Justice is one of the ways I hope to do that. And I'll yield the rest of my time.
Thank you, Ms. Ducey. 4 minutes and seconds to your closing statement. With that, candidate for Senate Parliamentarian Alvarez, you may begin your opening statement whenever you're ready.
Thank you, Mr. President. My name is John Raymond Alvarez, and I'm here as a candidate for the Senate Parliamentarian. I served as a senator for the duration of the 70th and 71st Student Senate, and returned as the Senate Parliamentarian for the prior half of the 72nd Student Senate. In that time, I've developed a fairly thorough and deep understanding of the governing documents here at the Florida State University Student Government. And because of the amount of time that I've spent within the Senate specifically, I have a fair grasp on the precedents that have been set over the 3 years of my time at FSU within the Senate specifically. Going forward, I would like to work more closely with the chairs of our different standing committees to make sure that their individual committee rules are being enforced and abided by. And I would also like to begin work in creating a book of precedents similar to the United States Senate for future durations of the Student Senate to look onto for non-binding forms of precedents that have been set in years past. I would also still like to continue assisting senators on the floor of the Senate in matters of procedure and styles of governance. And because of my previous affiliation as a senator over the summer, I will be doing my best to recuse myself during consideration on matters that I was involved in my prior time as a senator. But beyond those select instances, I would like to be open and available in any ways that I can on procedural matters, so I can ensure that all individual senators know the breadth of their capabilities and their powers as legislators. So thank you. I yield my time for my closing.
Thank you, candidate for Senate Parliamentarian. You yielded 3 minutes and 19 seconds to your closing statement. Candidate for Associate Justice of the Supreme Court, Manila, whenever you're ready, you can give your opening statement.
Strength, skill, and character. Those are attributes that are consistently being inculcated in our minds as students of Florida State University. I recognize that it is a privilege to be a student here, and I am a transfer student. Members of the Senate, my name is Russell Manila, and I am going to be the Associate Justice for the Supreme Court. As a third-year law student at Florida State College of Law, I've had several opportunities to interact with judges. Prior to moving to Florida State, I was in California, and I was a certified legal intern for Contra Costa Public Defender's Office, where I was able to represent indigent communities, where I was able to represent people who were accused of crimes. And I believe that I was able to do so with all the zeal that one needs in order to represent these clients whom the community has generally forgotten. At the same time, I worked for Judge Tarpoco. He's one of the Superior Court judges in California, and I wrote and I taught brief writing and motion with him as his teaching assistant. Currently, I am working for the Division of Administrative Hearings as a judicial extern for the interim presiding judge, Judge Cohen. And I believe all these experiences make me qualified to represent the Supreme Court in making opinions and making sure that the rulings are appropriate and fair. One benefit of making me one of the Supreme Court justices is that I am a transfer student, and I am going to be impartial because I have not met a lot of students. I was not raised in Florida. I did not go to Florida State University in my undergrad, and I don't know a lot of people in the College of Law. my opinions will be completely impartial and my biases will be kept at check. And I intend to do so with my colleagues as well. Delayed, denied, and deprived. A lot of people's rights are constantly being delayed, denied, and deprived. And as Associate Justice, my job is to ensure that that doesn't happen. My job is to ensure that the Constitution is kept. My job is to ensure that the opinions are fair and that mercy is provided when the courts can, and justice when it is necessary. I believe in proportionality in sanctions, and my job is to ensure that all of our rulings will be based on the Constitution alone and all of the procedures that are provided. I have been adopted into this community. I am a person of color, and I know how it feels like to be isolated. And I believe that me being in that position would enable people who are usually underrepresented to be heard. And I yield my time for closing.
Thank you for the passionate speech, Mr. Manella. And that brings your time for your closing to 2 minutes and 3 seconds. With that, we will be hearing from our next candidate for the Supreme Court Associate Justice position, candidate Matthias. You may begin your opening whenever you're ready, candidate.
Hey, how's it going, guys? My name is Blake Mathisi. I'm a 2L at the College of Law here. I went to University of Florida for undergrad, where I had an extensive background in student government there and all the different branches. I won't go into depth, but all the other random ones, just the ones that are applicable. But specifically, I was on the Student Conduct Board and the Greek Conduct Board under the Dean of Students, which is at UF. That's their basically Supreme Court. They hear the same type of stuff that you guys have the Supreme Court hear there. So I did that, and then I had a passion for student government. So as soon as I got here last year, I continued my involvement. I picked up the law seat on the Congress of Graduate Students. I served as the Deputy Speaker of Judicial Affairs, which I have resigned from because that's a conflict of interest. The general seat, law seat, is not a major seat under the Constitution and statutes, so it should not be a conflict, but I do plan to resign because our meetings are on the same night, so that won't be an issue. I then also served as the vice chair of the Elections Commission, which is a branch underneath the Supreme Court. And that was honestly, I looked forward to that. That was almost like my hobby, just nerdy law school things. I enjoyed, going through the statutes and combing through them to find which, I'm sure as you guys know, there's a lot of holes and patches in them. They aren't really clear. Some are contradicting. So that's what we truly enjoyed, is going through them, finding all the applicable ones, then trying to figure out what the intentions of the original writers were, and then, try to basically put ourselves in their shoes. So I'm excited for Supreme Court. Looking forward to that. And I don't really have any conflicts I foresee. Obviously, if I did, I would recuse myself. I yield my time to closing.
Thank you, candidate Mathisi. You yielded with 3 minutes and 19 seconds to your closing. I appreciate it. Next, we'll be hearing from candidate Gilbert for the Veteran Student Union CFO position. Candidate Gilbert, you have 5 minutes whenever you're ready.
All right, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Tristan Gilbert. I am a senior accounting student. I am applying, I've been accepted and looking for your approval of me being the Chief Financial Officer for the Veteran Student Union. I am a 6-year veteran of the Air National Guard. I'm currently employed by a local accounting firm known as Sanders, Holloway & Ryan, where I have extensive knowledge and experience preparing financial reports, money handling, and it's a great deal of office work and record keeping. And I look forward to working with you all, working with the Veteran Student Union, and see what we can get done this semester. I yield my time.
Thank you, candidate Gilbert. You yielded with 4 minutes and 15 seconds to your closing. With that, candidate Alfonso, for the Associate Justice position in our Supreme Court, you have 5 minutes whenever you're ready for your opening statement.
Thank you so much, President, and I really appreciate you guys being here today. So I am currently a 3L here, a third-year law student at Florida State University. I come from the University of Central Florida for my undergrad, and I have served in several positions here at Florida State University, including but not limited to 2 private firms, and I have extern at a couple positions, one being the Veterans Legal Clinic, helping out indigent veterans to get legal help that they need. And then another one was at the Florida Supreme Court under Supreme Court Justice Jorge Labarga last spring. And over the summer, I did help the Global Liberty Alliance, helping out with human rights, international human rights work. So I have done a variety of things here at Florida State, and I am currently not doing an internship or externship, so I can focus a lot of my time here with this position. And then in the spring, I will be taking less time with classes because I'll be graduating in the semester. So I'll have as much time as possible to focus on this and do the correct job and going by the law and doing exactly what you guys were putting us here to do. So I yield the rest of my time for closing.
Thank you, candidate Alfonso. You yielded with 3 minutes and 38 seconds to your closing statement. I appreciate it. Next, we'll be hearing from Cadet Haley for the Veteran Student Union Assistant Director. Cadet Haley, you have 5 minutes whenever you're ready.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Alex Haley, and I am looking to be confirmed as the Assistant Director of the Veteran Student Union. I'm a 3-year service member of the Army Reserve, as well as a cadet here at Florida State with the Army ROTC program. I will be extremely grateful and will be humble to serve as the position of Assistant Director of the Veteran Student Union in helping not only our student veterans, but our dependents of veterans and everyone connected to the Student Veterans Union, Student Veterans Center, and Collegiate Veterans of America achieve our goals this year. And I would just go ahead and end with that. I'll yield the rest of my time to my closing arguments.
Thank you, candidate Haley. With that, you yielded 4 minutes and 25 seconds to your closing statement. So now that every candidate has, been given an opportunity to give a opening statement, we are now in the technical non-debatable round of questions. So if any senators have any technical non-debatable questions, please raise your hand and ask said question, and make sure you let us know which candidate you're addressing it to and directing it to specifically, or if it's to all the candidates. So with that, if any senators have a technical non-debatable, Senator Murcia.
Yeah, this is a question for all the candidates. Are you currently financially certified, or have you taken the exam and are waiting for your results?
Thank you, Senator Murcia. With that, candidates, please do not mute yourself, because if you do so, that'll make me have to continuously re-click your name to unmute you. And so it'll just be easier if you just keep yourself unmuted. And if you do have an issue where there's background noise or something, it's fine if you mute yourself. Just send me a chat to remind me to unmute you if you have an opportunity to answer the question. But we can start with candidate Ducey, and then just popcorn and make sure each candidate answers a question.
Hi. No, I am not. I'm not financially certified. Is there a process through the school? Is that something that is necessary for this position, or?
So all members of SGA are kind of required to be financially certified. It's not a strenuous process at all. Basically, it's under the financial aspect, the financial office of the student government and advocacy program. And honestly, you just go to the SGA website. You should be able to, even if you just Google Financial for Certification Exam, FSU SGA, it'll pop up. You have to get an 80% out of 100, and all the senators are also expected to take it as well. So I believe you should have some time to be able to take it, but I would say take it as soon as possible. But with that, next candidate, you can respond.
I'll take the floor if that's okay. I am financially certified as I was part of COGS last year in the judicial Speaker Judicial Affairs, but I do believe it's only for a year, so I'm probably up to renew that in the next probably a month or so, because I joined at the end of last fall. So.
All right. I'll jump in if that's okay. Yeah, I am financially certified. I'm the president of 2 organizations, and I just took it upon myself to do that. So yeah, I am.
I'm not currently financially certified, but I will do that as soon as possible.
I am financially certified.
I'm also financially certified as well, Senator.
I'm not currently financially certified, but will in the coming days.
All right. Thank you all for answering that question. And with that, the link for the financial certification and the process to go there was dropped by Senator Chabot, just in case you guys needed it, for the ease. But with that, are there any other technical non-debatable questions for the candidates? Senator Gertz. Oh. Senator Gertz, no technical non-debatable question. All right, no worries. If there are no further technical non-debatable questions, is there a motion to move into rounds of pro and con debate? Senator Leckie.
I actually moved to go into questioning.
Oh, sorry. You're right. It's questions in regards to character would be second, and first we'll actually ask questions about your position. So position questions, thank you for that, Chair Leckie. With that, is there a second for the motion to go into questions in regards to position? Chair Mercia.
So seconded.
All right, with that, we are now in, are there any objections first off? Seeing none, we are now in questions in regards to the candidate's position. And so with that, if there are any senators who would like to ask questions to specific candidates or the candidates as a whole in regards to their position, they may do so now. Chair Leckie.
Yes, so this is for the candidate for Chief Justice. So my question is, in the statutes, there's a lot of barriers to undergraduates getting involved in the judicial branch. But ideally, what do you believe is the role of undergraduates serving in the judicial branch?
Candidate Ducey.
Sorry.
I just have to direct the question to the candidate.
I think there's a lot of opportunities for undergrads in the judiciary, especially with the positions that Chief Justice appoints, like the for us the defense. I'm sorry, I'm blanking on the name of it right now, but I'm sorry.
The general counsel, is that what you're referring to?
Yes, those positions could be implemented, because part of what I think should be another initiative of the Supreme Court this year is to have more engagement from law students as well. And I think more engagement in general. Those positions that are to be appointed by the Chief Justice, I think it would serve those positions better to have assistant positions or additional other students, undergrad students. It could be open to all students to have that, because the court does need more involvement.
Thank you for that answer, candidate Ducey. Are there any other questions for the candidates? Chair Chabot.
Hello, yes, this is for all Supreme Court Justice nominees. It's a pleasure seeing you all again. I just have one question. In regards to violations of student body statutes, what is your philosophy on how seriously they should be taken? For example, would you choose not to consider before the court allegations of violations of less severe violations, such as a meeting not being advertised on time or improper forwarding of candidates? Thank you.
I think that, is it okay if I start? I think that as a court, we have a duty to hear all the complaints that come before us. Obviously there are going to be some cases. It has to be on a case-by-case basis of what the severity is, what the need is, and how urgent each case is going to be. So that's a hard question to answer, but of course it's going to be evaluated on a case-by-case basis. But we do uphold that responsibility of hearing the cases that come before us and taking them very seriously.
Candidate Alfonso.
Yeah, I'd like to second exactly what Chief Justice nominee just said. So yeah, I think that everything that comes before us is definitely set to be heard. And if it comes up to us, it is our duty to read the statute correctly and make a decision with ample time and read everything that is brought to our attention.
Candidate Mathisi.
Kind of like what Ms. Ducey said, I agree that every complaint is important and deserves to be heard, as that is the right of a student. With that said, I also follow the motto that a bunch of the state agencies follow, basically compliance before enforcement. I think, most importantly, not everyone is an expert on the entire, whatever it is, 600 pages or 200 pages of statutes, so for smaller things that, such as advertising a meeting, which may be important so that everyone can, have awareness of what their student dollars are going towards. It might not be necessary to put a punishment on that, and try to go with compliance for enforcement, but I think it's, a scale that we weigh depending on what the situation is. If it's the first time, the second time, and I know that there's also some, precedent already from Hecht that, she's released some, statements and stuff like that, where basically she'll uphold the decision of the Supreme Court, but she won't uphold the actual punishment per se. So that's pretty much where I stand on that I think, it's important to educate everyone and, do fairness first. There's not necessarily a reason to put punishments on certain things that don't need to be punished.
And candidate Manila.
Yes, I concur in part with what my other colleagues have said. Do I personally think that all cases are equal? Of course not. I personally think there will be silly cases that will be presented to the court. But do I believe that all of these cases need to be heard? Ideally, yes, because it is our duty to hear them. But will there be more important cases? Yes, there will be. And again, I believe in proportionality. Like, if there's a more important case at hand, then the court will have to deal with that first and handle the other cases based on that.
Thank you, candidates for Supreme Court. Chair Chabot, did you have a follow-up or?
No, I do not. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you. Senator Gertz, do you have a question?
Yes, thank you, President Darl-Deek. I'd also like to say I do apologize for my camera not being off. I'm in the middle of getting repairs done. You can all understand how annoying that has been for my students as well. But I would just like to ask all of the candidates for the Supreme Court, and if I could, I'd like to reserve just a follow-up on this question.
That's fine.
Awesome. I would just like to ask, what education do you have on the LGBTQ+ community? And if none, how would you plan to educate yourself as you take on this position where you will be asked to oversee possible issues arising with organizations dedicated to that community?
And Ducey, you may begin the response.
I would say I have a pretty fair knowledge of the issues that are going on in society today involving discrimination of all kinds, not just specifically to the LGBTQ community, but and as that comes on across the court, then we're going to have to address those on a case-by-case basis. But I think that as those issues arise and we see them arising, we'll all be up to the task of solving those.
Thank you. Candidate Manila.
Yes, I was in San Francisco for almost 2 years, and I've been exposed to my LGBTQ brothers and sisters, or however, whatever pronouns they would like me to refer to them as. And I'm aware of issues. I'm aware of problems that they encounter. And should there be issues that I'm not aware of at the moment, I continue to learn and grow from whatever my LGBTQ friends encounter.
Thank you. Candidate Mathis.
Yeah, so I'll answer this question pretty similar as I did last night. I would say, I haven't taken any college courses on it or whatever. I would say I have typical knowledge of the, college student who is now aware of the social issues going on nowadays. Thankfully, the FSU Supreme Court is not hearing civil rights issues as the real Supreme Court is. I should never know someone's sexual orientation or preferences, nor do I care what they do. I see them as an FSU student and will judge them under, the statutes and constitution that we uphold them by. With that said, I was brought to my attention by Senator Murcia. I reached out to her. I read some of the deliberation minutes from yesterday. I realized that this question is being asked because there was a situation in the past that you guys are trying to avoid. So I have a follow-up meeting with her scheduled to go over that and make sure that situation doesn't happen again. And we already have some ideas in the making for that. So.
And candidate Alfonso.
Yes, my answer is going to be pretty similar, but I'm going to put a little twist on it. I definitely, I know pretty much the standard amount with the LGBTQ community, and I would say that if a case arises that is specifically targeted towards a LGBTQ member, or anybody that any statute that is not correctly addressed, then I will become competent and I'll read all the case law and the statutes that I need to become competent to know what's going on in their community. So I would say just the standard amount, but if I need to learn more, then I will for the cases that arise.
Thank you. Senator Gertz, you said you had a follow-up. Is it still necessary?
Yes, I just wanted to ask for all the Supreme Court nominees, as you are in this position, you will be overseeing possibly complaints, violations, and things like that relating to any number of RSOs that exist on our campus. So my question is, how do you plan to be fair with organizations that may go against your personal beliefs?
Candidate Mathisi.
Again, this is not a political position. This is a nonpartisan position. I'm not attached to any organizations here. Quite frankly, I have 5 years of undergrad experience in student government. I understand the main goals of the campus. I don't really foresee any polarizing issues that would come up that my political beliefs or morals or feelings would even come into question. But obviously, if that was the case, I abide by statutory interpretation. I abide strictly by the Constitution and the statutes that have crafted and guide all of the branches of government here. So there's really no deviating from that. So political beliefs or morals or whatever you want to call them should never really come into play. Because that ultimately the statutes are what guide our decisions. There's really not too much left up for opinion.
Thank you. Candidate Ducey.
I agree with that. I'll just add that the role of the court is to interpret the law, whatever law is there. And there's a lot of very dumb laws out there that the courts wish that they could change, but that's not the role of the court. The role of the court is to use the facts of the case at hand and to interpret the law and come to the best decision out from that and do it honestly. And of course, as in this position, you have a sense of responsibility to uphold that and make sure that your personal beliefs do not come into your decision, because they shouldn't.
Candidate Alfonso.
And yes, I completely agree with that. I think that whatever gets brought to you is definitely based on the text of the Constitution or statute that gets brought. I will give you an example of something that did get brought up. I play softball for the FSU Law softball team, and there was a case that got brought up to the Supreme Court. So if there's something that is directly influencing our club, I'm going to have to recuse myself, but that's only if it's because it's going to seem biased in any way possible. But if it's not, and I can just read the facts of the case and go and interpret the law and the statutes in the way that we're supposed to, then I'll do that as good as I possibly can.
Candidate Manila.
Yeah. Let me preface my statement by saying I think it is very pretentious to say that my morals and my views would never play a part in. With that being prefaced, I would like you to know that my job as one of the Supreme Court justices is to base my decisions based primarily and only on the merits of the case, not based on my prejudices or my prior experiences. My job is to ensure that the Constitution is kept, the procedures are kept, and look at the cases in front of me based on those merits. Does that mean I'm not going to be sensitive towards my own morals? Not necessarily. I believe that there are things that are called morally right, and there are things that are lawfully right. As a Supreme Court justice, obviously my priority is to make sure that our opinions are lawfully right. But at the back of that, there's always going to be that moral rightness, and that will never prevail over what's lawfully right and what's based on the Constitution and what's based on the statutes.
Thank you, candidates. With that, Senator Murcia, did you have a question?
Yes, I do. So this is for the potential Supreme Court justices and Chief Justice. So given that you guys may have to see appeals from this, the Elections Commission, have you guys ever been affiliated with an on-campus political party?
Thank you for the question, Senator Murcia. We will start with candidate Ducey.
No, I did not go to undergrad here, and I'm not involved in either political party.
Candidate Alfonso.
Here at Florida State, I was never a part of any political party, but at UCF, I was part of a political party. If you want me to answer which one, I will, but I don't think it's if you want me, I will answer.
All right, thank you. With that, candidate Mathisi.
No, when I ran for the law seat in the Congress of Graduate Students, I ran as an independent. Obviously, we heard a bunch of cases in Elections Commission, and I don't even know what the current parties are still. I know they're ever so changing, but I would I'm pretty confident that both parties would answer that. We were very fair and impartial and biased. So,
Thank you, candidate Manila.
No, ma'am, I'm not part of any parties.
All right. Are there any further questions in regards to the position for the candidates? Gertz and Marcia, if you don't have another question, please lower your hand. Gertz, did you have a further question? All right. Seeing lack of response, I will be entertaining a motion to move into character questions for the candidates. Senator Sohos.
So moved.
Chair Gonzalez.
So seconded.
All right. Are there any objections to go into questions in regards to the character of the candidates? Seeing none, are there any questions for the candidates in regards to their character? Senator Gonzalez, do you have a question? No. All right. Senator Gertz, do you have a question in regards to character?
Yes, I do. If I could please reserve a follow-up for this question.
All right.
Yeah, so understanding your personal knowledge of the law as law students, as well as your personal beliefs on the law personally, and this doesn't necessarily have to do exactly with your position, which is why I'm asking it here, but personally, how would you have voted on the Supreme Court case Obergefell v. Hodges for the Supreme Court nominees?
Yeah, I answered this question last night, and on the issue of recognizing gay marriage across state lines, I would have voted with the majority.
That question is honestly inappropriate in regards to asking you to say your vote in regards to a specific case. So I deem it inappropriate, so I'm not gonna force you all to answer that question. I do apologizing for not saying that before. But if you have a follow-up, Senator Gertz, that is more appropriate, then you can ask it.
I think questions of my rights are always appropriate, but apparently not, so no.
All right, thank you. So with that being said, are there any other further questions in regards to the candidate's character? All right, seeing none, is there a motion to forward the candidates individually so we can begin giving them an opportunity to make their closing statements? Chair Gonzalez.
I move to forward the candidates individually.
Chair Sohos.
Second.
All right, with that being said, are there any objections to the forwarding of the candidates individually? All right, seeing none, the candidates have been forwarded individually. So with that being said, when I do say your name, candidate, please, be prepared to give your closing remarks. And I will give, I'll tell you basically how much time you still have left on the clock that you had yielded for yourself. So with that, we will begin with candidate Ducey. You have 4 minutes and 22 seconds that you had yielded for your closing whenever you're ready. Oh, are you muted? I'm sorry.
Thanks. So I just want to thank everyone for coming out tonight and hearing all of us and going through this meeting. I really appreciate everything that SGA does for the school. I love FSU. I love being a part of the community. I take this role very seriously. I'm very excited for all of the things that we'll get to do on the court this year. And I know that me and all of the justices that are up for nomination tonight are all great students, great people, and we're going to follow the law, the codes, the statutes, the Constitution to the best of our ability. So thank you guys, and I yield.
Thank you, candidate. That being said, we will go to candidate Manila, and you had 2 minutes and 3 seconds left on the clock for your closing whenever you're ready. Are you muted, Candidate Manila?
Oh, no, I'm not.
You can give your closing remarks when you're ready.
Okay. Members of the Senate, I just want you to know that this is who I am. And I am a no-nonsense type of Supreme Court justice. Like what I told the committee last night, I eat critiques for breakfast. I do not care what people think. I am gonna be impartial. And if you're worried about us not being sensitive to your needs, based on your sexual orientation, based on your race, I will make sure that that we become sensitive to them. Our job is to ensure that the Constitution is kept. Our job is to interpret the law based on how we understand them. Our job is to make sure that the cases that are brought before us are to be judged based on their merits and not based on our own prejudices and our prior experiences. And if I become an associate justice, I will make sure that my colleagues do the same.
Thank you, Candidate Manila. With that, we will be moving on to the next candidate to give their closing remarks. Candidate Mathisi, you have 3 minutes and 19 seconds that you had yielded for yourself. So whenever you're ready.
Hey guys, like I said, thank you for this opportunity. I look forward to working with all you guys as the counterparts of, one of the branches of student government. I have the experience in undergrad and I've continued that here. I just have a passion for student government. Excited to, actually have the position to have the title as, Supreme Court Justice. I think that's pretty unique to FSU and pretty awesome. Like I said, I just have a passion for it. And I also, side note, welcome. I know you guys every once in a while try to get some, statutes changed and stuff like that. And there's always issues. And I know me and Ms. Ducey are definitely passionate about it and try to get some election stuff changed last year. So if you guys ever want to, make some time to do that, I'd be more than happy to meet with you guys and, try to make some changes for the better for the university. Thanks.
Thank you, Candidate Mathisi. With that, we will go to our next candidate for Supreme Court Justice, which is our final candidate that will be making closing remark, is Candidate Alfonso, whenever you're ready. And you have 3 minutes and 38 seconds. Are you muted? Okay, whenever you're ready, 3 minutes and 38 seconds.
Thank you, Mr. President, and thank you for all the members of the Senate. I really appreciate you guys being here tonight and taking time out of your very busy schedule to be here, so I appreciate that. But it all goes to say that I will work my best to interpret the Constitution and statutes as best as I can, and I look forward to working alongside of you guys to have one of the best years. I know it's, like we said at the very beginning, it's a very unprecedented time, but still things need to be done. And this year is a very important year. It's going to set the precedent for future, hopefully not as crazy as a pandemic, but for future roles in the Senate and Supreme Court justices and doing things through Zoom and stuff like that. So I hope that this is a learning experience for everybody, and I hope that we can be the first to ever do something like this. So I appreciate it. Thank you very much, and I hope you guys all have a great night.
Thank you, Candidate Alfonso. With that, we'll next be hearing from Cadet Haley for the Veteran Student Union Assistant Director position. And you have 4 minutes and 25 seconds for your closing whenever you're ready.
Thank you. So just in closing, I'd like to thank everybody for hearing us today. And to say that, like I said before, I will be extremely humble and grateful to be confirmed to this position. I definitely would like to make an impact this year as the Assistant Director of the Veteran Student Union and just go on to leave a legacy, not only getting more people to come out, creating just like a good legacy to bring on to the next leaders of the Student Veteran Union. So with that, I yield my time.
Thank you, Candidate Haley. With that, we will go to our next candidate, which is the Veteran Student Union CFO, Candidate Gilbert, and you have 4 minutes and 15 seconds whenever you're ready.
All right, I just want to thank everyone again for coming out tonight. Thank you all for listening to me. I really look forward to this semester and spending this semester serving the veteran community and doing all I can to help the Veteran Student Union. I look forward to working with you all. Thank you. I yield my time.
Thank you, Candidate Gilbert. With that, we will be listening to the final closing statement from candidate for Senate Parliamentarian Alvarez. Whenever you're ready, you have 3 minutes and 19 seconds on the clock for your closing.
Thank you, Mr. President. And to the members of the 72nd Senate, most of you already know me fairly well. You know my record previously as the parliamentarian. My job is not to tell you what you should do, but to be here when you need me to tell you what you can do. And that will be my goal going forward should I be confirmed again as parliamentarian. This is not a position that's for the front row or for the front lines. It's definitely a behind the scenes position, keeping as unbiased and as hands off as I can, and understanding that my job gets easier the better prepared that the Senate as a whole is. The greater understanding that you as a body have of our governing documents, the less I have to participate. And I hope that we can get to a point where I don't feel the urge to drop in frequently and only when needed. So just know, regardless of the vote outcome, I will always be here as a resource for senators young and old, and I will always do my best to maintain the ethical standard that I hope I've been able to set, and encourage you all to make your own precedents going forward as well. So with that, I waive the remainder of my time.
Thank you, candidate Alvarez. So with that being said, now that every candidate has been given an opportunity to make their closing statements, we are now in line to begin voting on the candidates individually. So with that being said, we will start with the 4 Supreme Court justices, including the chief and the 3 associates. So we will be starting with Ms. Ducey. And so Ms. Ducey, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna allow each candidate right before we vote. You just state your name and the position you're going for. And so that way it's clear for the senators right before they make the vote who they're voting for. So with that being said, Ms. Ducey, if you please just state your name and your position before we vote.
Hi, Julie Ducey, and Chief Justice of the Supreme Court.
All right, and so with that being said, senators, you are all now in line to vote. Yes is for yes, no is for no, and go faster is for an abstention on the candidate.
All right, I should have 35 votes total. Oh, let me remember to vote myself. And then just give me a second to write them down. Senator Sam, you haven't voted. Senator Stinson, you haven't voted. I need 3 more votes.
And just a reminder for Supreme Court candidates, to pass, it does require a two-third vote in the yes for them to pass.
All right, I have 34 votes. Did someone leave? There's nobody. Someone. Am I missing anybody? Oh, to my knowledge, everybody voted. So that means 32 yes, 1 no, 1 abstention. Candidate does pass. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, and congratulations, Ms. Ducey. Just please make sure you stay on the call because once all the candidates are confirmed, we will be swearing you all in. So with that, next on the list is candidate Manila. Candidate Manila, could you please state your name and the position you are going for?
Hi, I'm Russell Manila. I am going for the position of Associate Justice.
All right, so with that being said, senators, you are in line to vote on the candidate. Yes for yes, no for no, and go faster for abstention.
Okay, so I found out who didn't vote. So to correct the vote before, it was 33-1-1 because he had texted me. So you still pass. Okay, I'm counting. Keep voting. Senator Lewis. Senator Klink. Oh, there, he's back. All right. Okay.
Senator Salvo, please make sure you vote.
Lewis, you haven't voted. Or Senator Lewis. right, we need 2 more votes.
I know we're missing Senator Selva. There's no vote next to her name.
Okay.
That's another one.
Senator Selva.
And Senator Mayman also hasn't voted. Oh, there it is. Mayman voted yes, and Senator Selva also voted yes.
Okay, awesome. So, all right, I recorded all the votes. 28 yes, 6 no, 1 abstention. Candidate does pass.
All right, congratulations, candidate.
Thank you.
So with that, we are now going to be in line to vote for the 3rd candidate for the Supreme Court. Candidate Mathisi, please state your name and the position you are going for.
Hey guys, I'm Blake Mathisi and I'm going for Associate Justice.
All right, with that being said, senators, you are in line to vote on the candidates. Yes is for yes, no is for no, and go faster is for abstention.
Senator Lewis. All right, good, awesome. Senator Rossi.
Senator Selva, please make sure you vote.
Okay, we have 35 votes. Just hold them there while I write them down. All right, with a vote of 32 yes, 2 no, and 1 abstention, candidate does pass. Congratulations.
Thanks guys, look forward to working with y'all.
All right, so with that being said, we will go to our 4th candidate for the Supreme Court, which is candidate Alfonso. So please state your name. Oh, I muted you by accident. I apologize. But please state your name and your position.
My name is Jorge Alfonso, and I'm going for Associate Justice on the Supreme Court.
All right, senators, you are in line to vote on the candidate. Yes is for yes, no is for no, and go faster is for abstention.
Senator Lewis, Senator Gertz, you got it. Okay. All right, with 34 yes, 0 no, 1 abstention, candidate does pass. Congratulations.
Right, congratulations, Supreme Court candidates. With that, we will go into the 2 candidates for the Veteran Student Union. We will start with the Assistant Director position for the Veteran Student Union, which is Cadet Haley. Whenever you're ready, please state your name and your position.
Cadet Alex Haley, Assistant Director of the Veteran Student Union.
All right, thank you. So with that, we are now in line to vote. Senators, yes is for yes, no is for no, and go faster is for abstention.
Senator Ferguson. Senator Lewis. We're just missing you guys. Y'all want to vote? Oh, we need just Ferguson left. All right, I'll put her down as a no vote. So 34 yes, I believe. Yeah, 34 yes, 0 no, 0 abstention. Candidate does pass. Congratulations.
Thank you, everybody.
With that, we will now go to our next candidate for the Veteran Student Union for the Chief Financial Officer position. And you may go ahead, Mr. Gilbert, and state your name and position when you're ready.
Kristen Gilbert, Chief Financial Officer of the Veteran Student Union.
All right, you guys are in line to vote on candidate Gilbert whenever you're ready. Actually, now you're in line to vote. Yes for yes, no for no, and go faster for abstention.
Just an update, Ferguson did vote. She voted yes. She was just kicked out. So it was 35-0-0. Senator Lewis, Gertz, Medley Nera. Oh, you voted. Okay, awesome. So Senator Stinson is coming back. So 1 second. Oh, wait. Yeah, make sure your votes are still up. Hold on. Making sure everybody voted. Okay. Somebody is out of here that I don't know is out.
Vincent still hasn't voted.
Yeah, Stinson, if you're back, just click yes. Oh, I haven't voted. Haha. That's funny. But Stinson, you still haven't voted. Okay, I'll put it as a no vote for now. See if he texts me. But 34 yes, 0 no, 0 abstentions. Candidate does pass.
All right. And so with that, we will go to our final candidate on the calendar for confirmation, which is parliamentarian candidate Alvarez. And so with that being said, candidate, you may state your name and the position you are going for when you're ready.
John Jake Raymond Alvarez, Senate parliamentarian.
All right. So with that being said, you are all now in line to vote. Yes for yes, no for no, and go faster for abstention.
Okay, I can't add that quickly, so just give me a second. I need a calculator. All right, we need 3 more votes.
Now we only need 2 more.
Okay. Okay, this is going to take me a second to write down, so.
Senator Little, please make sure you vote. And Senator, no, that's not a senator.
Yeah, thank you for making sure.
Senator Akonda, could you please vote? I think we're just missing 1 more vote. Oh, there it is. We're at 35.
All right, awesome. Don't change your votes. Well, I mean, if you want to change them, but like, let me know before I call it. So. All right, with a vote of 20 yes, 12 no, 3 abstentions. To my knowledge, this is not needed for a 2/3. Parliamentarian is confirmed.
Awesome. So with that, all the candidates up for confirmation have made it through the Senate. And so with that, Pro Temp Harmon, whenever you're ready to do the oath of office for the candidates, you can do so. Also, all candidates, please raise your hand so I can ensure that you are unmuted. Well, raise your hand digitally so I can make sure you're unmuted and so that you guys are going to be able to be sworn in and so that the Senate can hear you guys get sworn in as well. All 7 candidates are muted, so whenever you're ready, Pro Temp Harmon.
Oh, okay. All right. Please raise your right hand and you'll be repeating after me. Candidates for student body offices may choose to replace the words "so help me God" with "on pain of impeachment" when taking the oath of office. Do you understand? You can just say yes.
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 When saying your name for, oh, okay, this doesn't count because we're online. I, please state your name.
I, John Raymond Alvarez,
Julie Ducey,
I, Jorge Alfonso,
promise to support and defend
promise to support and defend
promise to support and defend
the Constitution of the United States of America
the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the United States of America,
the state of Florida,
the state of Florida,
and the Florida State University student body.
and the Florida State University student body.
And I shall perform my duties to the best of my ability.
And I shall perform my duties to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
On pain of impeachment.
Congratulations. Oh, sorry. Congratulations, you all.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations, candidates. So before you go, I just wanted to let you know that you are now officially confirmed. So you will be able to now begin, doing whatever you need for your position. Congratulations to Parliamentarian Alvarez. Congratulations to the Veteran Student Union candidates. Special congrats to the Supreme Court. I know we're excited to finally have some seated justices. And I know I look forward to, and a bunch of the senators as well, we look forward to working with you and seeing the great work we can accomplish together. So thank you guys for coming. You do not have to stay for the rest of the meeting. You can if you're curious about the process and stuff that goes on, but it is definitely tedious, and it definitely we'll probably be here for at least another hour or two. So with that being said, if you'd like to hop off the call, you are no longer required to be here. So thank you all for coming.
Mr. Senate President, I got a question for you. I noticed that there was only one Chief Justice and 3 associates nominated. I know the court's supposed to have 5. Can we get an update on when to expect our last Associate Justice?
Yeah, so we had our 5th candidate, Nathaniel Hearn. He was sent to us on a forwarding letter. However, he did not make it to the interview to the Judiciary Committee yesterday. And so once he decides to attend a Judiciary meeting to be interviewed, he will then be forwarded to the Senate floor. But until he does so, U4 will be our sitting court.
Gotcha. And are you guys aware if there's any pending cases currently? I know there was one. I'm assuming it was withdrawn since it's now in real court.
I know that there was potentially 1 or 2, but I'm not 100% sure exactly in that regard.
Thank you.
No worries.
Thank you, Mr. President, and thank you to all senators. Really appreciate it.
Thank you all. If you have any questions and anything, feel free to reach out to me through my email or just hit me up offline. But thank you guys for coming. Yeah. And so we will be moving forward to consent calendar. PAC and RTAC did not meet this week. So with that being said, we are now on bills for first reading. So Bill 39, sponsored by Senator Sohos and Senator Leckie, amending Student Body Statutes Chapter 807.6K regarding funding boards, budgets in the fall, referred to Finance and Judiciary on 2/19. It was tabled in Finance since February until today. Bill 57, sponsored by Sohos and Adam Meek, amending Student Body Statutes 807.6, clarifying advertising regarding RSOs, referred to Finance and Judiciary on March 4th, and it was tabled in Finance March 10th, and it has been tabled ever since and until today, September 9th. With that being said, we're on Bill 58, sponsored by Senator Sohos, amending Student Body Statutes 807. Parliamentarian Alvarez, did you have a point?
Nope, just forgot to lower my hand. My mistake.
No worries. So with that being said, we're on Bill 58, sponsored by Senator Sohos, amending Student Body Statutes 807.6G, clarifying funding to organizations, referred to Finance and Judiciary on 3/4, tabled in Finance on 3/10 until 7/7, and it actually passed Finance today and is now in Judiciary. Bill 68 is sponsored by Senator Sohos, amending Student Body Statutes Chapter 807.6 regarding RTAC, referred to Finance and Judiciary. It passed in Judiciary out of sequence, and it is currently tabled in the Finance Committee. Bill 75 is sponsored by Senator Sohos, amending Student Body Statutes Chapter 807.6G regarding travel funding limits, referred to Finance and Judiciary, and is currently tabled in Finance. Bill 87 is sponsored by Senator Ryan, amending Student Body Statutes Chapter 802.4 with regards to the public advertisement of events. It was referred to Finance, then Judiciary, and it is currently tabled in Finance as well. Bill 92, sponsored by Senator J. Alvarez, Senator Chabot, and Senator Murcia, amending Student Body Statutes Chapter 304.3 with regards to the candidate screening process, is referred to Judiciary, IA then rules, passed and amended in Judiciary, and is currently tabled in the Internal Affairs Committee. Bill 98, sponsored by Senator Dean, is amending student body statutes, chapter 413.3, regarding the renaming of the Student Senate Excellence Award to the Danielle Acosta Student Award for Excellence, referred to Judiciary then Rules. And that was done last week. Bill 99 is sponsored by Senator Dean, and that is an allocation of money, the $15,000 designated to the student academic programs in the 2020-21 budget. So basically that occurred, and now that will be assigned to the budget committee. So Bill 99 is assigned to budget, and Bill 100, sponsored by Senator Martin, provides funds of $2,500 to Peace Jam Southeast for their affiliate dues, is assigned to the Student Life and Academic Affairs Committee, and then to the Budget Committee. All right, so with that being said, I know that Senator Mayman wanted to add a resolution to the calendar. You may go ahead and add it. I will pull it up from my email and share you the screen so that senators can see it. Okay. Are you making a motion to add a?
Yeah, I moved to add a bill on the first reading, or resolution.
There you go. And is there a second to Senator Mayman's motion? Chair Sohos.
Is it just me, or do we have to wait until resolutions to do this?
No, we're on the first reading, and we're in the calendar, so it's acceptable to.
Are you all right? Whatever. I don't really care. You guys will second it. Whatever.
All right. So with it being second, is there any objection? If not, I don't see one. It'll be added to the calendar, but we will hold off. I'll wait to allow somebody to still object if they'd like, because I am sharing my screen, and I do not think you guys have been given an opportunity to see this resolution. So with that being said, I think my screen is sharing. We're going to make it bigger. It does not have a resolution number yet. I can check and see what resolution it would become. It would become resolution number 80. But here it is. It is a resolution discussing the protests that occurred and why they occurred, and kind of the outcome of the protesters, altercation with the police. So with that being said, are there any, let me pull up participants again. Is there any objection from any senators in regards to this being added to the calendar? All right, seeing none, it has been added to the calendar as resolution number 80. And with that being said, once we get down to resolutions, I will assign it to a committee. So with that being said, we are back at first reading. We finished by, sending Bill 100 to Student Life and Academic Affairs and Budget. Bills on second reading. Bill 72, sponsored by Senator Promozic, amending Student Body Statutes, Chapter 303.2, regarding TLI leadership, referred to IA, then Judiciary, passed the Internal Affairs Committee, and it passed in Judiciary yesterday. Therefore, Senator Promozic, if you are on the call, you are recognized to, give your opening statement of 5 minutes. And with that, senators, if you want to give her a round of applause. Promozic. Oh, I don't see her. Is she on the call? Yeah, there she is. Senator Promozic, do you hear us?
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yes, ma'am. And so with that being said, you have 5 minutes for your opening statement whenever you're ready, and whatever you don't use, we'll go to your closing.
All right, thanks. Hey, Senate, good evening. This bill is in regards to TLI Leadership, or Transfer Leadership Institute. They're a program that's actually an executive project, so it falls under SGA. Therefore, they have to follow statutes that are put in place for them. And according to statutes, they have to pick their leadership in January, which has worked for them in the past, but recently they've decided to be more inclusive and include their program not only in the fall, but also in the spring to help the transfer students that come in the spring as well as the fall. And picking a new leadership board in the middle of their programs just doesn't really work for scheduling and planning and stuff like that. So a lot of the work has fallen onto the advisor, and it's just not ideal. I've spoken with the advisor as well as the current director, and they would appreciate changing the times when they pick their leadership to be towards the end of the spring. So that's basically what this bill is about. If you guys have any questions, I'm definitely open to answer them. And with that, I yield.
All right, Senator yields 4 minutes and 1 second to her closing statement. With that, are there any technical non-debatable questions for the sponsor of Bill 72? If so, please raise your hand. All right, seeing none, is there a motion to go into pro-con debate? Chair Leckie? Chair Leckie?
Sorry, did we move to go into pro-con, or are we in pro-con?
Well, I'm waiting for the motion, so if you would move us to do so.
Yeah, so moved.
All right, is there a second? Senator Sohos?
So seconded.
All right, with that being said, are there any objections to us going into pro-con debate on Bill 72 that is currently being shared? All right, seeing none, we are now in pro-con debate. We are in the first round of pro with 3 minutes on the clock. Is there anyone wanting to speak in the first round of pro? Senator Sohos, did you want to speak, or did you just have your hand up?
Yeah, I wanted to speak. I just wanted to say that I think this is a pretty good thing that Hannah's doing. She's reached out to the Transfer Leadership Institute people, and they seem pretty welcoming of this. So I would definitely support this, and I hope everyone else does too.
All right, do you yield?
Yes.
All right, Senator Sohos yields 2 minutes and 45 seconds to the first round of pro. Senator Leckie.
A good point that was brought up in judiciary was that lots of transfer students come in spring. So this would actually be moving the time for them choosing their leadership to a more accessible time period. I think this is a great bill. And with that, I move to pass by unanimous consent. Oh, I can't do that. Never mind. Not in the first round of pro. I yield.
All right, Senator yields 2 minutes and 24 seconds in the first round of pro. Any other senators wishing to speak in the first round of pro? Seeing none, the first round of pro has expired, and we will be moving into the first round of con with 3 minutes on the clock. Are there any senators wishing to speak in the first round of con? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to call the question. Chair Leckie.
Now I move to pass by unanimous consent.
Chair Sohos.
So seconded.
Is there an objection to pass by unanimous consent? Seeing none, congratulations, sponsor. It passes by unanimous consent. So with that being said, there is no need for closing. Senator Pomozic. Awesome. So we will now move to the next piece of legislation on second reading, Bill 79, sponsored by Senator England, amending Student Body Statute, Chapter 300.2, referred to judiciary, and it had passed in judiciary throughout the summer. Senator England, are you on the call? Oh, awesome. You have 5 minutes whenever you're ready for Bill 79, okay?
Perfect, thank you. All right, so this is, I have 4 bills back to back, so I apologize in advance. It's 79, 80, 81, and 82. This is all legislation that's coming from the executive branch. So these are changes to student body statutes that the executive branch have requested, but we'll tackle them one by one. This is actually the easiest of them, as it is literally a one-line change. So this one seeks to just add a chapter to student body statutes, specifically called the Executive Office of the President. If you would like to see the what statutes they would like to add under this chapter, I suggest checking Bill 82. So you've got to jump ahead a couple. It's on a different document, actually. I think Alex is sharing the screen. It's on actually a different week. So this PDF has 79 and 80, and then the next bill, the next packet has 81 and 82. But yeah, Bill 82 is the kind of sister bill, brother bill to Bill 79. But Bill 79 literally just adds the chapter. But because of how statutes and bills work, we have to do it one by one. So I yield.
All right, thank you. Senator England yields with 3 minutes and 46 seconds to his closing on Bill 79. Got it. So with that, we are in technical non-debatable questions. Are there any senators wishing to make any technical non-debatable questions for the candidate, or not the candidate, I apologize for the sponsor. Seeing none.
I was going to say Senator Silvers.
I move to enter pro-con debate.
Amazing. Is there a second for that? Senator Waters.
So second it.
All right. With that being said, are there any objections to the pro-con debate? First moving the pro-con debate. Seeing none, we are now in the first round of pro on Bill 79 with 3 minutes on the clock whenever you all are ready. Anybody wishing to speak in pro? Seeing none, we're in the first round of con. Anyone wishing to speak in con? Okay, so is there anybody who would like to move to call the question on the piece of legislation that is on the table? Senator Pedroso.
Move to call the question.
All right, second, Senator Sohos.
So seconded.
All right, with that being said, the question has been called. Is there any objection? Seeing none, we are now in line to give sponsor England 3 minutes and 46 seconds to his closing. And you may begin whenever you're ready, England.
Thank you very much for the swiftness, and I waive the remainder of the time.
All right, with that being said, senators, you are all now in line to vote. Yes for yes, no for no, and go faster for abstention.
Senator Dean, Adamik, Garcia, Chabot, Mosick, Senator Stinson. All right, we need 4 more votes. Senator Waters. Awesome. All right, we're missing 1 vote, and I did vote this time. Senator Adamik, you are the missing vote. Awesome. All right. 34 yes, 0 no, 1 abstention. Bill 79 does pass.
All right, congratulations, sponsor. We're now moving into your next piece of legislation, which is Bill 80, amending Student Body Statutes Chapter 300.4, referred to Judiciary, in April, passed, then tabled in Judiciary, and then amended and passed in Judiciary on 6/15. So with that being said, please welcome sponsor England to the floor. Welcome.
Thank you very much once again. So this particular bill. Oh wait, I'm sorry.
5 minutes to start. So give me 1 moment. Now you can go ahead.
Okay. So this particular bill, it does 2 things. It adds 1 line to the description of the student body president. I don't know if we can get the bill up on the screen.
I don't have the most amended version.
Oh, okay. That means neither do I, because I'm looking at the bill packets from the website. So we might need to ask Chair Leckie, as Judiciary was the last committee for it to go through. But anyway, I'll present it regardless. Basically, this adds 1 line to the student body president description, which reads, provide strategic oversight to the executive cabinet through the coordination of the vice president. And then it adds a couple of things to the student body vice president, which is kind of why I want to see if we can bring this on the screen. But it adds a couple of, it changes 2 of the existing clauses under the student body vice president and adds a new clause just to expand on the role and the duties of the student body president and vice president. But I will yield the remainder of my time, but ask that we can try and take a brief. Perfect. Thank you.
I think the only thing that was amended was adding you as a sponsor.
Okay. So yeah, there we go. So section L is what's being added to the student body president's description. And then you can see B and D under the student body vice president are just being edited, expanded upon, and then E is new under the student body vice president as well. So just basically expanding on things that they're already doing. I think that's the biggest thing I can say is that they are already doing these things. We just always like to keep statutes updated with regards to the actual roles and responsibilities of these executive officers. So I yield the remainder of my time.
All right, you yielded 3 minutes and 15 seconds to Bill 80 for your closing. With that being said, are there any technical non-debatable questions for the sponsor? Okay, seeing none, is there a motion to move into pro-con debate? Senator Gonzalez.
I move to go into pro-con debate.
Senator Waters.
So seconded.
All right, with that, we have 3 minutes on the clock for the first round of pro. Anybody want to speak in pro? Travis, you trying to speak in pro? No? All right.
I guess. I mean, this is common sense. Let's just pass this.
All right. So with that, Senator Waters, he yielded 2 minutes and 55 seconds for the first round of pro. Are there any other senators wishing to speak in the first round of pro? Seeing none, we are now in the first round of con with 3 minutes on the clock. Is there anybody who would like to speak in the first round of con? All right, seeing none, is there a motion to call the question on Bill 81? 80? 80, yeah, Bill 80.
I move to pass by unanimous consent.
All right, Senator Killing. Senator Killing. Okay, well, Senator Gonzalez.
So seconded.
All right, Bill 80 has, is there any objections to the exception of Bill 80 with unanimous consent? Seeing none, it has been accepted and passed by unanimous consent. Congratulations, sponsor. There's no need for a closing. With that, we'll be moving into Bill 81, sponsored by Senator England, amending Student Body Statutes 300.5. Lavender moved to put a bill on first reading, seconded by Lecky. No objections. It was referred to judiciary, passed and tabled judiciary, and amended and passed in judiciary, and is now here on the floor. So with that being said, welcome again, Senator England. Sponsor England, you have 5 minutes on the clock whenever you're ready to begin.
Thank you so much. Again, sorry for all of this, but I appreciate how quickly we're getting through this. So Bill 81, I believe Pro Tempore Harmon is working on bringing it up right now, but I will describe it nonetheless. Bill 81 updates and restructures the Deputy Student Body Treasurer position. Basically, there's not much in statutes as it is regarding the Deputy Student Body Treasurer. So what it does is it basically just clarifies that it's an appointed position by the Student Body President and is subject to confirmation by the Student Senate. The Student Body President has sole power of appointment and may dismiss any individual serving under them at their discretion, as we all know. So that was just added to statutes. We did scratch some stuff out, which I'm hoping to show you if we can get the bill displayed. And then we also added 3 specific tasks, 3 specific responsibilities of the Deputy Student Body Treasurer. And those are A, report directly to the Student Body Treasurer, B, advise, assist, and follow the Student Body Treasurer on financial actions surrounding the executive branch, and C, support the roles and responsibilities of the Student Body Treasurer in their absence. So now that the bill's up, you can see we added that little bit to just expand and clarify that it's an appointed and confirmed position. We scratched out that little bit there that it's not an appointed member of cabinet, etc. And then we specifically, we scratched out the description of the job and made it look nicer, right, with ABC. So that's it, very simple again, and I yield.
Sponsor yields with 3 minutes and 20 seconds to his closing. With that being said, are there any technical non-debatable questions on Bill 81? Seeing no technical non-debatable questions, is there a motion to move into pro-con debate? Senator Sohos.
So moved.
So moved. Is there a second? Senator Martin.
So seconded.
All right. So with that being said, are there any objections to the pro-con debate? Nope. Perfect. With that being said, we are now in the first round of pro with 3 minutes on the clock. Are there any senators wishing to speak in the first round of pro? Senator Lecky.
I just have a point of information for the sponsor. So Does the deputy student body treasurer serve under the student body president or the student body treasurer who's elected separately?
You may answer, England.
Yes, thank you. So they serve under the student body treasurer, as clarified in kind of sub point A right there, but it's an appointed position by the student body president with, I imagine, consultation from the student body treasurer, if that makes sense. So they report to the student body treasurer, but appointed by the student body president. Hopefully that answers your question.
All right, so with that, are there any speakers wanting to speak, any senators wanting to speak in the first round of pro? Seeing none, we're in the first round of con. Are there any senators wishing to speak in the first round of con for Bill 81? All right, seeing none, are there any motions to be made? Senator Sohos.
Move to pass by unanimous consent.
All right, is there a second to pass by unanimous consent for Bill 81? Senator Waters.
So seconded.
All right, with that being said, are there any objections to the passage of unanimous consent for Bill 81? Okay, seeing none, it has been accepted. Congratulations, sponsor, once again. We are now on Bill 82, sponsored as well by sponsor England. And Bill 82 is amending student body statutes, chapter 300 to 302. It's currently on the floor. So with that being said, senators, where did Zoom go? Just give me 1 second, guys. Zoom kind of just disappeared. There it is. Welcome back. So again, are there any senators? Or yeah, Senator England, you can give your 5-minute opening whenever you're ready.
Thank you. 2 seconds. Sorry. Okay, so Bill 82. Bill 82.
Sorry, I don't know that one.
I'm so sorry. That was Alexa. I don't know if you guys heard that. But as I was saying, Bill 82. Now, this is a pretty hefty one. This expands on the chapter that we just added to statutes. Now, we are requesting that we table this for a week, simply because there is so much in this bill, and it's been a while since we've reviewed it. So we'd like another week to check it over. It is pretty hefty. It's the longest of them all, and it's, as you can see, oh, you guys can't see it on the screen, but if you could see it, you could see that it's literally adding brand new statutes, like an entire 2 chapters, I believe, 1 chapter, but 2 points to a chapter, as you can see there. So there's lots of new information, and I'm requesting on behalf of the executive branch that we be given an additional week to review this. But basically, I mean, you can read on there what it does do. It clarifies and defines the roles under the executive office of the president and the responsibilities of those roles within the executive office of the president. But those conversations are just being finalized at the executive branch level. So we're requesting that we can table it for a week. I apologize and thank you, and I yield.
All right, so with that being said, you yielded with 3 minutes and 20 seconds. But if you'd like to table it, is there a motion to table Bill 82? Notice. Senator Sohos.
I move to table Bill 82 until probably, I don't know, a week.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Tabled for 1 week. Is there a second to that? Chair Martin.
So seconded.
Got it. So with that being said, Bill 82 has now been tabled again, and we are now moving on to Bill 84, sponsored by Senator Leckie. Amending Student Body Statutes, Chapter 509, with regards to appointing general counsel, referred to judiciary in May, tabled in judiciary in June, and passing in judiciary on June 15. So with that, welcome to the floor, Senator Leckie, and you have 5 minutes for your opening whenever you're ready in regards to this bill.
Ready? Okay. So I wrote this bill a couple of months ago, and it's been sitting on the floor for a while. But it does 2 things. One, it allows the student body president to appoint the general counsel rather than the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. And it also allows any student at Florida State University to be appointed as general counsel rather than just restricting it to law students. Now, I came up with this idea after serving as the chair of the Judiciary Committee for many months. I've interacted a lot with the judicial branch. And my committee, as you saw tonight, deals a lot with the officials who appoint these lower level positions in the judicial branch. We heard tonight from the Chief Justice, who said that possibly the undergraduate students need more of a role serving in the judicial branch of our government. And we heard that one of the associate justices actually served in UF's version of a Supreme Court as an undergraduate. My point being that we should be able to involve more undergraduate students in our judicial branch. And I think that the position of general counsel is one that an undergraduate can do. One thing I can tell you is I've been here for 2 years. I've never seen a general counsel get appointed, never. And so that's a significant problem, especially because we have so many cases potentially going to the Supreme Court. So the goal of the bill is to increase the amount of general counsels we have from 0 to somebody, and to involve more undergraduates in the judicial branch. I look forward to a good and thoughtful debate and discussion, and with that, I yield.
Sponsor yields with 3 minutes and 24 seconds to his closing. With that being said, we are now in technical non-debatable questions. Are there any senators wishing to ask any technical non-debatables? Seeing none, is there a motion to go into pro-con debate? Chair Sohos.
So moved.
All right, is there a second? Senator Wang.
So seconded.
Is there any objection to going into pro-con debate? All right, seeing no objections, we are now in the first round of pro. Are there any senators wishing to speak in the first round of pro? Senator Sohos, do you wish to speak in the first round of pro?
Yes. So this is definitely a bill I'll happily support, because it's always sad to see a lot of student government, just the whole system being empty and not filled with students. And then sometimes we can't get stuff done because of that. For example, we didn't have the Supreme Court filled. So if that was a struggle, imagine how much of a struggle it would be to fill a general counsel if the Supreme Court justices are the one appointing them. I think it's way better to just give that power back to the president and hope that he appoints people soon.
Do you yield, Sohos? I'm assuming so. With that, he yields 2 minutes and 27 seconds in the first round of pro. Any other senators wishing to speak in the first round of pro? Seeing none, we're in the first round of con. Any senators wishing to speak in the first round of con? Seeing none, is there a motion to call the question? Senator Mayman.
I move to pass by unanimous consent.
All right, is there a second to that motion? Senator Sohos.
So seconded.
All right, is there any objections to the passage of Bill 84 by unanimous consent? Seeing none, it passes by unanimous consent. Congratulations, Chair Leckie. Bill 84 passes and there's no need for a closing. So with that being said, we'll move on to the next piece of legislation on the calendar for tonight, which is Bill 85. Bill 85 is sponsored by Senator Leckie, Adamique, Porter, Murcia, Waters, Killink, Martin, amending student body statutes chapter 300 with regards to the Attorney General, referred to Judiciary, tabled in Judiciary, and passed as amended in Judiciary on 6/23. So with that, all the sponsors, if you'd like to have an opportunity to say something during the opening, I'll say them again: Leckie, Adamique, Porter, Murcia, Waters, Killink, and Martin. Please raise your hands. And once you all have your hands raised, at least whoever would like to speak, the 5 minutes are going to be starting on the clock. Seems like only Chair Leckie would like to speak. So with that, whenever you're ready, Chair Leckie, you have 5 minutes.
This is pretty straightforward. This started as a project between myself and a couple of other experienced senators. The position of Attorney General doesn't have its own place in statutes, so we got together, collaboratively wrote a bill just to give the Attorney General its own place in statutes. So with that, I yield.
All right, sponsor yields with 4 minutes, and for Bill 85, he yields 4 minutes and 41 seconds. And with that being said, are there any questions, technical non-debatable questions for the sponsor? Seeing none, is there a motion to go into pro-con debate? Chair Sohos.
So moved.
All right. Is there a second? Senator Selva.
So seconded.
Awesome. So with that, are there any objections to moving into pro-con debate on Bill 85? Seeing no objections, we are in the first round of pro with 3 minutes on the clock. Any senators wishing to speak in the first round of pro? If you guys would like a moment, you guys can take a look at the piece of legislation itself. Everything underlined is being added into statutes in regards to the Office of the Attorney General. So are there any senators wishing to speak in the first round of pro? All right, seeing none, we are in the first round of con. Are there any senators wishing to speak in the first round of con? All right, is there a motion to call the question on Bill 85? Senator Chabot.
I move to pass by unanimous consent.
All right, is there a second to Senator Chabot's motion? Senator Medley Nera.
So seconded.
All right, I know it was soft spoken, but we heard you, so seconded. With that, it has been accepted by unanimous consent unless there is an objection. Are there any objections to the passage by unanimous consent of Bill 85? Seeing none, it passes by unanimous consent. Congratulations, sponsor. Yeah, so we'll move on to Bill 86, which is also on the calendar, sponsored by Senator Dotson, Stinson, and Adams. So Senator Stinson and Adams are still senators, so if you guys would please raise your hand so you can, give the opening statement for it, is amending Student Body Statutes, Chapter 100.5 to add Deputy Treasurer and members of the Executive Office to the list of major positions. So Bill 86, you guys have 5 minutes whenever you're ready.
Yeah, so because this goes along with the other legislation that was tabled, and on behalf of exec's recommendations, I move to table Bill 86.
Okay. Is there a second to Senator Adams' motion to table Bill 86? Chair Sohos.
So seconded.
All right, so Bill 86 is tabled. Woo. All right, we're moving on to the next one. Bill 89, sponsored by Senator Murcia, amending Student Body Statutes, Chapter 401.3 regarding the omnibus bills. So this is an exciting one. It was referred to Judiciary, amended, and passed in Judiciary. Senator Murcia, whenever you're ready. You have 5 minutes on the clock.
Can I first add Senator Chabot as a co-sponsor?
Sure. You're making a motion to add her?
Yes, please.
All right. Is there a second to the motion to add Senator Chabot as a sponsor? Senator Waters.
So second it.
All right. So Senator Chabot is now a sponsor on Bill 89. So sponsors Chabot and Murcia, you have 5 minutes whenever you're ready to present.
All right, cool. So basically, Bill 89 streamlines the process for omnibus bills. It redefines to place the threshold for omnibus bills consideration to be at 3 separate statutory titles instead of more than 1.
So basically, before, if a bill dealt with more than 1 chapter of our student statutes, it would automatically be considered an omnibus bill. Just to make it more efficient, it's now 3 or more. So say previously, if a bill dealt with 2 statutory titles, say chapter 100 and chapter 200 or something like that, then it would automatically be considered omnibus even if they dealt with the same issue. This makes it so it's 3 or more statutory titles, just makes it easier for everybody and easier for us to consider.
And with that, we yield.
All right, sponsors yield with 4 minutes and 9 seconds. Well, 4 minutes and 8 seconds. I apologize to their closing statement. And with that being said, are there any technical non-debatable questions for this piece of legislation? Seeing none, is there a motion to go into pro-con debate? We need a motion to move forward. I know we're tired, guys, but come on, put some pep in your steps. Let's get kicking. Okay, there we go. Some hands. Senator Gonzalez.
So moved.
All right. Senator Leckie.
So seconded.
All right. With that, we are now in the first round of, we're in the first round of pro with 3 minutes on the clock. So if anybody would like to make a statement in pro of this bill, you may do so at this time. Anybody? All right, so we are now in the first round of con. Anybody want to speak in the first round of con? None. Okay, so if there is a motion to call the question, I will be entertaining said motion. Chair Dean.
Yes, President Dardik, I move to pass by unanimous consent.
All right, Senator Sohos.
So seconded.
All right, so unless there's an objection to the unanimous consent passage of this bill, it shall pass. Are there any objections? Seeing none, congratulations, sponsors. It has passed by unanimous consent.
Thank you.
I'm like, claps. So we'll move on to our next piece of legislation. Bill 90, sponsored by Senator Murcia and Chabot, amending Student Body Statutes, Chapter 404 regarding Senate terms and applications. It was referred to Judiciary, then Rules, and it passed in Judiciary as well as passing in the Rules and Calendar Committee. So Bill 90, sponsors, whenever you are ready. You ready? Oh, you're muted. My bad. You guys have 5 minutes on the clock.
Sorry, I totally forgot we were next. Again. Okay, so thank you guys for hearing us again. This bill clarifies terms of office for senators. First and foremost, it ensures that if a student holds an undergraduate seat, say in the College of Social Sciences, and they choose to go here for a master's in public administration, same college, that they are allowed to hold their seat, and while they're transitioning from their undergraduate to their graduate degree, they just take a leave of absence for that period of time. So they still continue to serve in their seat. We've seen this happen with one of our own very senators, Senator Brendan Gert, shout out to you. And then secondly, this bill also clarifies the terms of office for senators in general. This bill is meant to stop seat hopping. So say a senator holds a fall seat, and fall inauguration or spring inauguration has happened, say it's September per se. That senator hypothetically right now could apply to a spring seat, extending their term for another 6 months, which I believe is unfair and undemocratic, as they should have to go through the election process again in the fall instead of just switching seats in order to artificially extend their term. Other than that, I look forward to any questions you guys have, and unless Senator Murcia has something.
No, I think you covered it all. We yield.
All right, sponsors yield with 3 minutes and 34 seconds to their closing. Are there any technical non-debatable questions for sponsors? Senator Gonzalez.
Yes, so just to clarify, a senator can become a graduate student, but still stay in the undergraduate Senate and not have to go to COGS.
Yes. So we already have graduate seats in the Senate, but under the new apportionment bill, it allows undergrads and grads to both hold seats for specific colleges. And so this just makes it so that if they're in the same academic division, they can still hold their seat. Graduate students are still allowed to serve in Senate regardless. We've seen that with Mark Porter, who recently just graduated from graduate school, but he served in Senate, and then also Mariah Hill. So graduate students have always been allowed to serve in Senate. This just allows them to keep their seat if they stay in the same academic division.
All right, any other?
Can I reserve a follow-up?
Go ahead.
So they wouldn't have to run again. They just keep their seat.
For example, let's say like they're a spring seat, all right, and they graduated in the spring. They could still serve in the summer and their fall in the fall as graduate students, but in the same seat. They would just have to rerun again in the spring, like normal.
So they would just be allowed to finish out their term, basically.
Yes.
It's not extending their term. They're just allowed to finish out their term if their term happens to go over their transition into graduate school.
Got it. Thank you.
All right, any other technical non-debatable questions, senators? Seeing none, is there a motion to move into pro-con debate? Senator Waters.
I moved into pro-con debate.
For a second. Senator Gonzalez.
So seconded.
All right, with that being said, are there any objections to going into pro-con debate? Seeing none, there is 3 minutes on the clock for the first round of pro. Would anybody like to speak in the first round of pro on Bill 90? Oh, there goes somebody. Gertz, whenever you're ready.
Hi, everyone. I would just like to say that, thank you to the sponsors of this bill. This is at least the very first part is what I'm addressing about, the moving into the graduate college and maintaining your seat. I had been meaning to write this bill, but I also did not have classes over the summer, so I never got around to it. So I really appreciate you saving me some work. So this actually, that beginning part already exists. It exists under the, I believe it's 704.5.1, maybe C, something like that. And so it already exists. That's why I was allowed to keep my seat. This is just bringing this section in line with the other statutes. So I really do appreciate that work. And I'd like to just thank the sponsors for that. And I really do hope we vote to keep our statutes consistent. With that, I yield the remainder of the time.
Sponsor yields, or Senator yields 2 minutes and 5 seconds. Would anybody else like to speak? Okay, point, Senator Gonzalez. Did I not unmute you? I tried. No.
Thank you. Point of personal privilege. Can you scroll back down, Pro Tem Parman, please?
There's 2 minutes and 5 seconds still on the clock. If anybody else would like to speak in pro. Seeing none, we are now in the first round of con with 3 minutes on the clock. Would anybody like to speak in con? Senator Sohos.
I move to pass by unanimous consent. If no one else wants to speak yet.
Yeah, I'll entertain the motion. Is there a second to it? Senator Wang.
So seconded.
Is there any objections? All right, seeing none, congratulations, sponsors. It is passed by unanimous consent.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. I'm just hoping that you guys gain your energy back one day, maybe next week. So with that, we're going to Bill 91, which was sponsored by Mujay and Adamique, amending student body statutes, Chapter 809 with SOAR Board to engagement ambassadors, and it passed on the Senate floor on 7/15. So Bill 94, sponsored by Senators J. Alvarez and Murcia, amending student body statutes 307.3 regarding forwarding letters, referred to IA, Judiciary, then Rules, amended and passed in IA, passed in Judiciary, and passed as well in the Rules and Calendar Committee. So therefore, Senator Murcia, whenever you are ready, you will have 5 minutes for your opening statement in regards to Bill 94.
I move to add Senator Chabot as a co-sponsor again.
All right, so Bill 94. Is there a second to adding Chabot? Senator Waters.
So second it.
All right, are there any, no, she's accepted. And so Senator Chabot and Marcia are now the sponsors. There's 5 minutes on the clock for Bill 94 whenever you're ready.
Give me 1 second to pull it up. I've got my tabs all mixed up here.
It's okay. I think this is the one that's talking about the timeline in regards to making it, I think, 5 days instead of 2 days for forwarding letters.
Yeah.
Yep, you got it.
Okay, so basically this bill clarifies the process for forwarding letters. It ensures that in statutes that the forwarding letters goes to the proper committees, as not all candidates go through internal affairs. It also ensures that all documents relating to the candidates are forwarded along with the letter. It also clarifies the time frame, making it so that there must be at least 5 business days that the committee has access to these documents before interviewing the candidates. Overall, this is a much needed change, and I welcome any questions. Do you have anything else to add?
That's about it. We yield.
All right, sponsors yield with 4 minutes and 4 minutes and 20 seconds to their closing. And with that being said, we are now in technical non-debatable questions. Are there any technical non-debatable questions? Are there any technical non-debatable questions? Seeing none, is there a motion to go into pro-con debate? Senator Waters.
I moved into pro-con debate.
Awesome. Is there a second? Senator Rudolph, a new face, welcome.
Yeah, so seconded.
Okay, with that being said, is there any objections to pro-con debate? Seeing none, we are now in pro-con debate for Bill 94. And then Pro Tem Harmon, if you're able to, please pull it up just because it'll help clarify for them. But yeah, so if there's any senators wishing to speak in pro, just let me know.
Wait, before you do that, sorry, I don't know if it was amended further than this, but this is all I can find. Just an FYI.
This is in the Internal Affairs Committee. So if anyone from the Internal Affairs Committee, I think Chair Adams, well, Senator Adams now was the chair at the time, or Vice Chair Gonzalez at the time. Now, Chair Gonzalez, if either one of you has any knowledge of if this is the final amended version or if there is something that was moved after this document. And if there was, please email it to Harmon or myself or both of us would be ideal. But if you guys do have any knowledge like that, just let us know. But as it stands, this is the one that we currently have. If we do receive an updated, amended version, as time goes on, we will let you all know. So host, would you like to speak in the first round of pro?
Yeah, I have a point of information.
All right, point of information.
So why do you guys want to get the copies of each candidate that applied and any minutes from the interviews? If isn't that the whole purpose of the executive branch, to have that power to appoint whoever they want without us really knowing who applied? And that isn't that part of the whole reason why we haven't been getting the applications and who actually applied?
Senator Marcia or Chabot, either one of you can respond to clarify the intent that he's asking in regards to.
So when vetting candidates, we want to do our very best to make sure that they're the best people for the job. So say they submitted like a supporting document detailing like something that they worked on in the past, or like they wrote up like a brief for mock trial in high school or something. We want to get those documents to make sure they're the best candidate possible, and we want to be able to see that and ask them questions based off of that. In terms of the minutes, it also helps us see like how they answered in their interview with the executive branch, so we know what sort of questions to ask them, and we also have that prior knowledge like going into voting on them. Other than that, do you have anything to add?
No, but I did find out what the amended version was, Ahmad, if you would like to know.
Yeah, to me and Harmon if you have it. Oh, I think we received it.
So I don't have the amended version, but basically it would be 5 days before the Senate meets instead of 5 business days. Currently it's 2 days before the committee meets, which usually fluctuates based on committee dates. And it's supposed to read that it's only the forwarded candidates' documents.
All right, so you're not getting the documents from everyone, then, right? That apply?
No, it's only the
Oh,
four.
all right, all right, all right. That's what I thought. That's what I thought.
Yeah, so in D1,
Right,
it
so that makes sense. Yeah.
He's gonna share the amended version. We both received an email. So
Perfect.
but with that being said, are there any other technical non-debatable questions? Travis, Senator Waters. Senator Sohos, did you have a follow-up?
No, that's fine. I just didn't lower my hand.
Okay. Senator Rudolph, did you have a technical non-debatable question? No. All right. And points, Harmon, is just points are better for rounds of pro and con. But are there any other technical non-debatable questions at this time for Bill 94? All right, seeing none, is there a motion to go into pro-con debate? Senator Abston.
So move.
Fantastic. Senator Rudolph.
So seconded.
All right, so with that being said, we are now in pro-con debate unless there's an objection. Seeing no objections, we are now in the first round of pro with 3 minutes on the clock. If anybody would like to speak in pro, Senator Waters.
Thank you. I really like this. I think having the minutes from the interview would really provide IEA a lot of grounds as to, how to properly vet the individuals who seek office in student government. Additionally, providing us with more time to look at these applicants, because 2 days, what's that? So I really like this. I hope you guys all like it too. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Senator Waters, yielding with 2 minutes and 29 seconds. A point of clarification or a point of some sort from Pro Tem Harmon.
Yes, I just have a point of information for the sponsors. So I'm reading this. It says, must be sent to now the Senate President no later than 5 business days. So does that mean the time frame is they could send it any time between 0 and 5 days? They don't have to really they could do it at any point?
No, so
if I'm interpreting it wrong, that's probably it. But
no,
I'm
you're
just reading it that way.
So this says that it has to be sent to the Senate President no later than 5 business days before the regular Senate meeting. So we know that Senate always meets on Wednesdays, which means that the forwarding letter must be sent to the Senate President by the by the Wednesday prior.
Oh wait, sorry, I'm interpreting this wrong. You're right. My bad.
So it must be sent essentially a week in advance of the Senate where they're supposed to be confirmed.
Okay, yeah, that was just a misread. Thank you, though.
And just a point of, I guess, I don't know if this would be clarified. I think it would be more of an information. So a point of information for myself. I know that, this past week, for example, I received a forwarding letter on Friday at 5 p.m., barely before, the on the cusp of it not being able for us to read. I think by requiring it, maybe it would help in the sense of making sure things occur properly. But with that, are there any other senators wishing to speak in pro of Bill 94? We still have 2 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock. No senators wishing to speak in pro. Okay, so we are now in the first round of con with 3 minutes on the clock. Any senators wishing to speak in con? Senator Sohos.
I move to call the question if no one else wants to speak.
All right. Senator Waters.
So seconded.
All right, so senators, we are now going to be in line to vote after the sponsors give their 4 minute and 20-second closing. 4 minutes and 20 seconds on the clock, senators. Whenever you're ready, you can take the floor.
Alrighty, thank you guys so much for hearing this. This just makes the forwarding process a little bit easier and a little bit more clear in terms of the timeline. And it also gives us the ability to see all relevant documents, not just the application, but if there are supporting documents or even the minutes from the executive interview to see what sort of questions exec asked them so we know where to fill in the blanks. In terms of the 5 business days prior, that essentially gives exec 1 week to put the forwarding letter in, and then once it's in, that following week when committees meet, they will have that information as soon as possible instead of receiving it, say, Friday at 6 o'clock right before the deadline. This just gives more leeway and more time so that we're able to do our jobs more efficiently. Anything you want to add?
That's about it. We waived the remainder of our time. Thank you.
Thank you, sponsors. With that being said, senators, you are all now in line to vote. Yes for yes, no for no, and go faster for abstention. And I will stop sharing my screen.
Senator Promozic, Denton, please vote.
Senators, please make sure to vote. Senator Lewis.
Senator Stinson, I feel like he disconnected.
Oh, maybe. Senator Denton, you're still on the call.
Yeah, we just need his vote and Stinson, but I think Stinson disconnected, so I'm going to put a no vote for him.
Yeah, he lost his speaker, so it seems like he disconnected.
Okay. And Denton still hasn't voted, so I'll put that as a no vote. Okay. Vote reads 32 yes, 0 no, 1 abstention. Bill 94 does pass. Congratulations.
Woo! Congrats, sponsors. With that, we will now, if you want to do virtual claps, you guys can still do that. You're welcome to. But we will move on to Bill 95, sponsored by Senator Alvarez, amending student body statutes, Chapter 203.6, regarding publishing of minutes for all meetings, referred to SLAW, judiciary and rules, tabled in SLAW, passed in SLAW, and passed in rules. And so when it comes to the legislation, by the way, for Senator Alvarez or Senator Porter, his resolution and stuff like that, Senator Murcia will be taking ownership of those, but she will be doing that next week. So we'll just be leaving them on the calendar for now. So with that being said, we will move into Bill 96 instead. Bill 96 is sponsored by Senator Alvarez and Senator Leckie, amending student body statutes chapter 400.5 regarding abstentions, referred to judiciary, then rules, passed in judiciary, and passed in rules. So sponsor Leckie, whenever you're ready, you can begin. You're open. Oh, I gotta unmute you. There you go.
I'm going to ask that this be tabled tonight, if possible.
Yeah, that's fine. So you'd like to table it. Is there a second to the tabling of Bill 96? Senator Sohos.
Yes, I second.
All right. And so with that, it is tabled. And we will be moving forward to the constitutional amendments. Constitutional Amendment 2, sponsored by Senator Mercier and Chabot, amending student body constitution with regards to the number of student senators, referred to judiciary, SLAW, then rules, amended and passed in judiciary, and passed in SLAW. Amendment 3 was sponsored by Senator Murcia, amending the student body constitution to limit the number of students needed for a petition of recall, referred to judiciary, SLAW, then rules, amended and passed in judiciary, and passed in SLAW. And then Amendment 5 and 6, both sponsored by Senator Alvarez and will be taken up by Senator Murcia. However, we will leave them on the table for now. Amendment 5 is to make the student body president, vice president run separately. Amendment 6 is editing the student body constitution with regards to the student body treasurer. We are now on resolutions. Resolution 45 is sponsored by Senator Porter regarding the university partnership with HonorLock. It is on the floor currently. And Resolution 48 is sponsored by Senator Yanam and Bogle, commending the 5 years of education and service that Green Dot has provided FSU, and encouraging members of the student body to go through Green Dot training, referred to SLAW, then rules, tabled in SLAW, amended and passed in SLAW, tabled in rules, and passed in rules today. And so with that, Senator Yanam is not present today, and Senator Bogle is no longer a senator, and because they're not present, it is just automatically tabled. So Resolution 48 is tabled. Perfect. So we will move to Resolution 52, sponsored by Senator Murcia and Leckie. Yes, amending Sumisachi. I lost my place. There it is. So Resolution 52, sponsored by Senator Murcia and Leckie, amending Student Senate Rules of Procedure 1.7 and 6.4 regarding the Internal Affairs Committee, referred to IA, then rules, passed in IA on 7.7 and passed in rules on 7.8. welcome sponsors Mercia and Lecky to the floor to give their 5-minute opening statement whenever they are ready.
Marcia, is it okay if I start?
Go for it.
All right. So this resolution is pretty simple. Just changes the name of the Internal Affairs Committee to the Oversight Committee, like it is in the real government. It's a cool little change. And yeah, Marcia.
No, we're just basically Senate tries to keep in line with our federal government. So this would just be continuing with that precedent and keeping us in line with our federal government. And with that, we yield.
All right, sponsors yield with 4 minutes and 36 seconds to their closing. Are there any technical non-debatable questions for the sponsors? Any technical non-debatable? All right, seeing none, is there a motion to go into pro-con debate? And this is resolution 50. Yep, Senator Waters, you have 3 minutes on the clock whenever you're ready.
Point of information, aren't we moving into pro-con debate? Are you entertaining the motion?
Yeah, I was. Sorry, there was no motion, so I just assumed it had happened.
Oh, okay.
For so long, I apologize. Senator
No
Waters.
worries. I moved into pro-con debate.
Thank you. Senator Rudolph.
So seconded.
Thank you, guys. So with that, we're actually now in pro-con debate, and we have 3 minutes on the clock for the first round of pro. When you are ready, if anybody would like to speak in pro. Okay, seeing none, is there a second? And I'm tongue twisted at this point. There's nobody wanting to speak in pro of this resolution. Is there anybody who would like to speak in the first round of con? All right, seeing none, is there a motion to call the question? Senator Stohos.
I move to call the question.
All right, with that, is there a second? Wang.
A second.
All right, so seconded. Are there any objections to calling of the question on this resolution? Seeing none, okay, resolution 52 has now been called to question. And sponsors, you have 4 minutes and 36 seconds whenever you're ready.
So, it's just a very simple change just to keep up with our federal government, keep the precedent going. If Griffin has anything to add.
He's muted. No, he doesn't have anything to add. Okay, so with that, do you guys yield?
Yes.
All right, so sponsors yielded, and now you are all in line to vote. Senators, yes for yes, no for no, and go faster for abstention on resolution 52.
To my knowledge, there's still 35 people here. So there should be 35 votes. Senator Lewis, Senator Gertz, Senator Sam, Senator Promozic, we're missing one vote. And let me just write down the no's and abstentions. Senator Lewis, we are missing your vote. All right, we have all the votes. Just leave them there. All right, vote reads 26 yes, 6 no, and 3 abstentions. I believe that passes. Resolution 52 passes.
All right, with that being said, congratulations, sponsors. And before we move forward, Senator Adam Meek requested to be added as the caretaker sponsor for Resolution 4045, which is Senator Porter's. So Senator Adam Meek, you are hereby appointed to it, and go ahead, you can make a submission.
Yes, I'd like to withdraw Resolution 45, please.
All right, with that, is there, yeah, it's withdrawn, you're the sponsor, so sounds good. Resolution 45 has now been withdrawn. 48 was tabled, 52 has just passed, and now we are on Resolution 53. Resolution 53, amending the Student Senate Rules of Procedure 10.17, sponsored by Senator Murcia, and it was referred to rules on 7.1 and passed on 7.8. Through the Rules and Calendar Committee, Senator Murcia, whenever you're ready, you may present.
So I'd like to add Senator Chabot as a sponsor.
All right, is there a second to that motion?
Am I allowed to second? Oh.
So seconded.
All right, so Senator Chabot has now been added to Resolution 53 as the sponsor with Murcia. And you guys still have 5 minutes on the clock whenever you're ready.
All right, so basically Resolution 53 gets rid of the naming ad hoc. As we've seen, it's a long and tedious process. This was written with consent of the original creator of the naming ad hoc, showing just how unnecessary it really is.
Yeah, and there will need to be an amendment made to this. It says in the last be it further resolved clause, the name of our previous Senate president, so we want to update that to the current Senate president just to make sure we're covering our bases. Yeah, and also change, also take out Dr. Acosta as she is no longer our advisor, sad, and replace it with Dr. Bowden. And with that, we've just seen that this committee is very cumbersome, and it very much is, we should get student input regardless when we're renaming something that's this important. And so just to have this written into rules when it's nowhere else in statutes it clogs up our rules, and I feel that it is very unnecessary. And with that, we yield.
All right, sponsors yield with 3 minutes and 53 seconds. And with that, we are in the round of technical non-debatable questions. Any senators wishing to ask technical non-debatable questions? Seeing none, is there a motion to move into pro-con debate? We're not there yet. We need a motion. Senator Waters.
I move to enter pro-con debate.
Senator Dean.
So seconded.
All right. So with that, we are now in pro-con debate. Is there any objections to that? No. So we have 3 minutes on the clock for the first round of pro. Would anybody wish to speak? Also, in regards to the amendments that the sponsors requested, those would be able to occur in the round of pro or in the round of con. So just keep that in mind. If you choose not to make amendments, that is up to you all. So with that being said, we still have 3 minutes on the clock for the first round of pro. Seeing none, Senator Gonzalez.
I move to amend the last be it further resolved to strike out Danielle Acosta and write in Deshaun Scott and Dr. Bowden, Brandon Bowden.
All right, with that being said, is there a second to the amendment made by Senator Gonzalez? Senator Waters.
So seconded.
Sponsors find it friendly?
Yes.
All right, this amendment has hereby been adopted to change Danielle Acosta to Dr. Bowden and Deshaun Scott. With that, we are still in the first round of pro. Are there any senators wishing to speak in the first round of pro? All right, seeing none, we are now in the first round of con. Are there any senators wishing to speak in the first round of con? Senator Murcia.
Point of personal privilege, if someone can also amend to strike out Jack Denton and put in Ahmad Daldick, I would really appreciate that. I tried, I'm sorry. Thank you.
Senator Waters.
I move to amend this legislation to be it further resolved to replace Jack Denton and put Ahmad Darrell Deep as the Senate President.
All right. With that being said, is there a second to the amendment? Senator Gonzalez.
So seconded.
All right. With that being said, did the sponsor find it friendly?
Yes.
All right. The amendment has hereby been adopted. So with that being said, the amendments were to change the name of the previous Senate President, Jack Denton, to make it more accurate to the person currently serving in the position, which is myself, Ahmad Darul. And so we are still in the first round of Khan. If anybody would like to speak in the first round of Khan, they may. Or if there is nobody wishing to speak, I will entertain a motion to call the question, unanimous consent, whatever it may be.
I'd like to speak in a round of Khan. I just can't raise my hand.
Oh, go ahead, Raman. You have 3 minutes on the clock.
Okay, so this has come to us many times before to remove it. I don't think we should, and I'm going to explain why. So a while back, we had an issue where we named a award after someone, and it turns out that that person that we named that award after made some disparaging comments, and we didn't know this. We found this out after we had already named it. We didn't go through this procedure. We didn't find that out, and that's the reason that this was put in there, to help us avoid that conflict. Because let's be real, we like our advisors, we know our advisors, we know the people that we work with, but do we really know them all that well? Sometimes if we name things after people, we don't really know what they say in private to other people, which is what we found out back then. So you might say it's useless now, but who knows? In the future, you might have an issue where someone might say something not like how we've named something, much like with the Epps Hall or something like that. Quite frankly, we need this procedure to avoid any missteps with that. And for that, I yield in Khan.
All right, Senator Harman, or Pro Tem Harman yields 1 minute and 41 seconds to this round of Khan. Do any other senators wish to speak? Senator Gonzalez.
Yes, thank you. I kind of agree with Pro Tem Harman. I think I just want to err on the side of caution when it comes to these things, because I feel like there's always something coming up about someone, and just to cover all of our bases, I would just want to keep this in statute and rules.
All right, do you yield? I'm assuming so. So 1 minute and 16 seconds left on the clock. Is there anyone else who still wishes to speak in Khan? Oh, a bunch of hands. This is exciting. Some engagement. Senator Abston.
Yeah, so I was actually there when everybody was coming forward with the allegations for the past naming incident. And so this was kind of created in response to that. And I think that it should stay there so we can avoid that in the future. So I'll be voting no on this. Thank you.
All right, thank you. With that, Senator England. You have 56 seconds on the clock.
Thank you. I just want to very quickly add, I agree with the statements of all of the previous senators, but I just want to add that I think that this ad hoc can do more than just business to the Senate. So for example, obviously we had the recent incident with Epps Hall. Like this committee, for example, could write a resolution on behalf of Senate and then issue that resolution on behalf of Senate, right? It doesn't have to be necessarily for Senate awards or Senate particular business. They can kind of look at naming around the university as a whole. And so I think that there is still work to be done as evidenced by recent events. And so I will be voting no, because I think it's an important thing to keep, and I yield.
All right, yields with 15 seconds on the clock. But with that, I did want to give an opportunity to Senator Sohos because he has a point.
Yes, so point of clarification. I don't know if a lot of you guys remember, but Shayna Cohen, when she used to be a senator, she actually tried to get rid of this. And she actually ended up revising it because we didn't want to get rid of it. And this was in the 72nd Student Senate. So I don't understand why we try to get rid of it now, especially with all the naming stuff going on in our school.
All right, thank you for for that point of clarification. So with that, are there any other senators wishing to utilize the 15 seconds that are left in con? If not, I will be entertaining a motion to call the question. Anybody? Somebody? Senator Waters.
I move to call the question.
Senator Sohos.
So seconded.
Shaler. I'll get you next time, Shaler. So with that, are there any objections? All right, the question has been called. Sponsors, you have on this resolution, which is resolution 53. You have 3 minutes and 53 seconds for your closing whenever you're ready.
Yeah, so I thought that this rule change was very simple. This naming ad hoc has only been used once, and it's not even required for the renaming of anything. If you look, it says any senator may at any time during new business make a motion to create a naming ad hoc. It doesn't say that it is required to create a naming ad hoc to rename something. As we've seen, we are trying to rename the Senator of the Year award to the Dr. Daniela Costa Senator of the Year award. And that hasn't gone through any naming committee. This has only been used once, and that was the name change of the Hispanic Latino Student Union to the Hispanic Latinx Student Union. So I feel that it is very cumbersome. We only had one incident where when we renamed something, it turned out not to be a good thing. And so I feel like if we as senators do our due diligence in researching the person we are naming an award after, we won't run into that same problem again.
Yeah, I also just want to touch on something that was said during debate. We have no rights over the naming of buildings or anything like that. All we can really put out is a resolution suggesting something, but we as a Senate do not have rights, or we're not allowed to try to get to someone to rename a building or anything like that. Do you have anything else to say?
No, not that. Nope, we waive.
And with that, we waive. Thank you.
Thank you, sponsors. With that, senators, you are now in line to vote on resolution 53. Yes for yes, no for no, and go faster for abstention. And while you guys are voting, I just wanted to, friendly reminder that our meeting will be ending soon. It's past 10 o'clock. I hope to be done by 11. If we can finish prior, that is fine with me. But 11 is the cutoff time. I will be adjourning the meeting. But yeah, continue to vote, guys.
All right, keep your votes up.
Under England, please make sure you vote.
All right. If I'm adding that correctly, that's 34 people. So who are we missing? Did somebody leave?
Did England end up voting? England still hasn't voted.
Hey, Quentin, come on.
Distracted. Look at him.
Okay, there we go. All right. Vote reads 7 yes, 25 no, 3 abstentions. Resolution 53 does not pass.
All right. So with that, we shall move forward. Our next piece of legislation is Resolution 54, amending the Student Senate Rules of Procedure, Rule 1 regarding the organizational meeting of the Senate, referred to Rules 7.1, pass in Rule 7.8. Senator Murcia, you have 5 minutes on the clock whenever you're ready.
Hello. So basically right now, If we were to have skip forward to fall inauguration, the student body vice president would conduct the Senate president and Senate pro temp elections. Now, this is usually done in like big people government, but here at FSU, the student body vice president does not have any legislative ability like they do in real government. They don't have the power to make laws, to overturn laws, to decide tie-breaking votes. That power lies with the current Senate president. So this is the only place where it has anybody from the executive branch sort of preside over the Senate in any sort of way. So this changes it from the student body vice president looking over the elections of our Senate president to the most senior member of the Senate. It also, if you go down a little bit further to 1.3, it also changes it to gender neutral language. Previously it said, in such cases where his/her vote would be decisive, it changes it to say their vote would be decisive. And so, yeah, that's the wrong resolution. It's about that one.
Yeah, we're on 54.
Good to know we're next again.
And do you have anything else?
Yes, and by big people government, we mean the federal government. And with that, we yield.
All right, sponsors yield with 3 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock. Are there any technical, non-debatable questions at this time for the sponsors? Senator Waters.
Thank you, Mr. President. I guess, has the executive been consulted about this?
Seeing how this deals with separation of powers, and this is the only time that the student body vice president interjects in any sort of legislative matter, we didn't see it pertinent to consult them since this is the conduction of Senate's internal elections.
All right, is there any other technical, non-debatable questions? Chair Leckie.
How do you determine who's the most senior senator?
Like we do for every other thing where we require the most senior senator, say that some, like the president and pro temp can't preside over the Senate, we choose the most senior senator, which is the senator who has served the longest.
Just, FYI, our longest term senator is Pro Temp Harmon. We are very happy to have you. Isn't it? I think.
No, technically it is Senator Denton.
Oh, wow. Look at that. But with that being said, we're going to move forward. Is there any other technical, non-debatable questions? Senator Sohos.
I move to enter pro-con debate.
All right. Is there a second? Senator Waters.
So seconded.
All right. We are now in pro-con debate. If there are no objections, seeing none, does anyone wish to speak in pro-con debate? Senator Gonzalez, there is 3 minutes on the clock, and you are recognized to begin whenever you may.
Yeah, I just want to say, I saw this in statutes when I was reading it, and this makes a lot of sense because I saw it and I was like, this is kind of weird. This isn't anywhere else. And I just don't know. Even if I feel like chairing a Senate meeting is a big deal too. And I don't know. I just feel like they wouldn't have the experience either. So it just makes sense for the oldest member of Senate to do it. So yeah, with that, I yield.
Thank you, Senator Gonzalez. 2 minutes and 35 seconds still on the clock for the first round of pro. Would anybody else like to speak in the first round of pro? Senator Leckie.
Yeah, I just want to reiterate those previous words. It's a big part of our separation of powers. And while it is a thing in the real U.S. government, the vice president doesn't have any constitutional authority over legislative things in our government. And also, I think Pro Temp Harmon and I are tied in the most senior senator category. I think Mercy.
I'm 20 minutes earlier.
20. Okay, he's got me by 20 minutes. But with that, I yield.
Okay, so Senator yields with 2 minutes and 7 seconds on the clock. Are there any other senators wishing to speak in the first round of pro? Seeing none, we are now in the first round of con. Any senators wishing to speak in the first round of con? Senator England.
Yes, hello, thank you. I just want to briefly speak in con of this bill, resolution, I'm sorry. It is bill. And I want to speak against it simply because I don't like how the executive branch weren't consulted in regards to this. As the liaison, to the executive branch, I would have hoped that I would have at least been contacted in regards to this, if not the executive branch themselves. I understand that it's, Senate business and we're trying to change how internal Senate matters run, but I think it would have been courteous, if nothing else, to at least reach out and inform the student body vice president that this piece of legislation was going through. So I do not support this. And just to clarify earlier, I did vote, but someone cleared the votes, and so I had to vote again. So I did vote on time. I know I got called out, but yeah, and I yield.
All right, thank you for yielding a minute and 57 seconds in the first round of con. Senator Sohos.
Yes, so I think if this passes, it's going to leave the Senate in a situation where people are fighting over, I'm 20 minutes more senior than you, 15 minutes more senior than you. And that's something that I definitely don't want to happen. And I also think that it would maybe create a conflict of interest if the most senior member is, 20 minutes older than the other person who's running it. I just don't like it. I'd rather have the vice president chair an election and then just leave after that, because she's not going to chair the whole meeting, or he's not going to chair the whole meeting. It's just going to be the election of the Senate president. Then he or her will take charge after that.
Thank you, Sohos. With that, a minute and 23 seconds still in con. Chair Dean.
Yeah, I just want to say that I agree with those previous sentiments, and in the aspect of time, it's not gonna be like, 20 minutes older, that's just a little silly. But it would essentially be in order of the way it's written in statutes by order of committee, and then that first chair whoever is just serving in the highest capacity would more than likely hold that meeting. But point being, I think it's important to include the executive branch, have the vice president, it's often not where they're not able to come. So, especially now where we're in a point in time with Zoom University and everything's a lot more accessible, it's going to be a lot easier for them to attend and to help swear them in and get to know a little bit of the senators, as well as, hopefully that'll encourage them to keep coming back and not have any reason to miss. So with that, I yield.
28 seconds are yielded on the clock. I see a point. Chair Leckie, you have a point?
Point of information for the sponsors.
All right, you can go ahead and we can direct it.
At the beginning of the 72nd Senate, did the vice president chair the meeting for the election of the Senate president?
No, it was the most senior senator.
Thank you.
All right, is there anybody, point from the sponsor. Yes, Marcia.
Yes, point of clarification. The vice president doesn't actually have, let me find the correct words I'm trying to say, the constitutional authority to run a Senate meeting. So I just wanted to put that out there. Thank you.
All right, so with that being said, we still have 28 seconds on the clock for con. Would anybody like to utilize those? Senator Waters.
Thank you, Mr. President. I guess I kind of find it a bit antithetical that we're trying to be like the federal government, but then we do things like this. I just find it kind of redundant in a way. And plus, we didn't even consult the executive, so I think at least we should have consulted the executive, and I would have been in full support, but not really.
All right, 9 seconds are still on the clock. So with that being said, would anybody else like to utilize those 9 seconds, or is there a motion to call the question? Sohos.
I move to call the question.
Is there a second? Senator Gonzalez.
So seconded.
All right, the question has been called on Resolution 54. Sponsors, you have 3 minutes and 30 seconds for your closing whenever you are ready.
Thank you very much. I just want to address some of the concerns that came up in terms of reflecting the federal government. Yes, the federal government does do this, but the Florida government does not. The Florida in the Florida government, the lieutenant governor cannot preside over a Senate meeting. And in our Constitution, it doesn't give our student body vice president the power to preside over a Senate meeting. Furthermore, it has been done before by seniority, both at the beginning of the 72nd Senate, and also we saw this summer that the new Senate President, President Darrell Deek, was elected using the system of the most senior member, which Chair Leckie presided over. We didn't consult them because frankly, this is the Senate Rules of Procedure, not the SGA Rules of Procedure. And so dealing with the internal elections of the Senate, we don't believe that the executive should be involved with that. They don't have the power to preside over a Senate meeting in any capacity, according to our Constitution. And so it really should be a senator running that meeting and facilitating those elections. Anything else?
And with that, we waive the remainder of our time. Thank you.
Thank you, sponsors. And with that, we are now in line to vote. Yeah, so vote yes for yes, no for no, and go faster for abstention.
Oh, this is going to take a bit to do. Senator Stinson, you haven't voted. All right, give me a bit to write this all down. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna save time and just take pictures of it. So,
If you do a video faster.
all right, just give me 1 second.
Are there any senators who still haven't voted?
Yeah, make sure they voted.
I'm checking for you. We're just missing Stinson, from what I can see.
All right, that's okay. I'll just put him as a no vote if he hasn't voted. All right, with 16 yeses, 17 noes, and 1 abstention, Resolution 54 does not pass.
Oh, that was a close one, guys. So we are going to our next resolution. Resolution 54 is what we just did. We'll be going to Resolution 54, 55. Resolution 55, sponsored by Mercia and Chabot, amending Senate Rules of Procedure with regards to attendance for leadership for Senate leadership decisions, referred to rules tabled in rules and failed in rules M99. Resolution 57, sponsored by Senator Mercia, amending Student Senate Rules of Procedure 1110 regarding pro-con debate, referred to Rules 7.1 and pass in Rules 9.9. So welcome to the floor, sponsor Mercia, for Resolution 57.
I would like to add Senator Chabot as a co-sponsor.
Are you making a motion?
Sorry, I move to add Senator Chabot as a co-sponsor.
All right, if there's that motion. If you would like to make the second, could you please raise your hand again? Because I just cleared the. Senator Gonzalez. Senator Gonzalez, recognized.
Seconded.
All right, with that being said, Senator Chabot, you are now a sponsor to Resolution 57, and you guys have 5 minutes whenever you're ready to make your presentation, opening statement.
All right, so basically this sets out in plain language the exact instances in which the presiding officer, may recognize motions to vote, clearing up any confusing motions and streamlining debate while affording all senators equal opportunity to speak. And do you have anything to add?
Yeah, so basically this just clarifies when a motion to call a question or a motion to pass a bill or resolution is to be made. So previously it can only be done after the expiration of a round of con. This allows it so that can be done at the expiration of a round of con. If we, for some reason, go into pro, but no time has passed or nobody has spoken in that round of pro, it can be called then. Or if we're in a round of con, the time hasn't expired, but nobody else wants to speak, we are allowed to make the motion then. This just sort of clarifies it and makes it easier to call a question instead of having to go through, oh, we're already in a round of pro, so we have to expire the next round of con.
It also makes sure that if we do go into a round of con and then someone calls a question, but someone wants to speak in pro, The moment there's an objection, the motion is automatically removed. So it makes it a lot easier to not have to go back and forth with do you withdraw your motion or debates. And with that, we yield. Yep, we yield.
Sponsors yield 3 minutes and 37 seconds to their closing. Are there any technical non-debatable questions for the sponsors? Seeing none, is there a motion to go into pro-con debate? Senator Waters.
I moved into pro-con.
Is there a second? Oh, wow, look at the hand. Amazing. Senator Abston.
Second.
All right, with that, we are now in pro-con debate unless there is someone who is wanting to object. No objections. We're in the first round of pro with 3 minutes on the clock. Any senators wishing to speak in the first round of pro? Any senators wishing to speak in the first round of pro? All right, seeing none, we are in the first round of con with 3 minutes on the clock as well. Any con speakers? All right, seeing none, we are in line. Oh, Senator Mayman.
I move to pass by unanimous consent.
All right, there you go. Man, with some oomph. I like it. Who's next? Anybody would like to second that motion? Senator Martin.
And so seconded.
All right, are there any objections to the passage of Resolution 57 by unanimous consent? Senator Medley Nehra.
Yeah, I object.
All right. So does the Senator Mammon, do you withdraw? Well, actually, because it's a unanimous consent objection, it automatically just doesn't work. So with that being said, is there a motion to call the question? Senator Mammon.
I move to call the question.
All right. Is there a second? Senator Martin.
And so seconded.
All right, so we are now going to be in line to vote after we are given an opportunity for the sponsors to give their closing statement with the 3 minutes and 37 seconds that they still have left on the clock. Sponsors, whenever you're ready.
So yeah, this would basically just help streamline debate and make it a lot easier for us to move from motion to motion. I really hope this passes, as I do see it necessary.
Yeah, definitely. We've already been putting some of these into practice, such as moving to call to question before a round of con expires. If nobody else has something left to say, technically we're supposed to wait for the president to announce the expiration of con, but we don't do that anyway. So might as well put it into our rules and make it so that it's legal, right? And with that, we waive the remainder of our time.
All right, sponsors. With that being said, senators, you are now in line to vote. Yes for yes, no for no, and go faster for abstention. And we are running towards that 15-minute mark. We got 2 more minutes, so we're still at 17 minutes before the meeting will be over. But make sure you're voting, senators. You know, it lengthens the process when there are no votes. We still have about 10 senators at least that still have not voted.
If I'm counting correctly, I think we need one more vote.
Ensign hasn't voted.
Okay, I think he's disconnected. So like, okay, I'll just hold on. All right, do that.
And just a reminder that it needs to have a 2/3 vote because this is a rules change. So if this does not receive a 2/3, it will fail. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna pass.
Y'all can do the math. I am a poli-sci major. I don't know math. I'm not good at all that. Sorry.
It's a no-go. I did the math, Harmon, if you wanted.
All right, awesome. Thank you.
Here, I'll text it.
Oh my God. Okay, I think I'm missing a few people. Okay, hold on. All right, vote reads 20 yes, 12 no, 2 abstentions. With 62.5%, it failed. Or it does not pass. Sorry for the strong language.
So yeah, we'll be moving on to our next resolution. Thank you, sponsors, for presenting. So resolution 57, we are now resolution 58, sponsored by Senator Jay Alvarez, amending student rules of procedure 13.8 regarding senator absences, refer to rules. Resolution 60, sponsored by Senator Waters, Garcia, Alvarez, Gabadaj, Gonzalez, Medlinera, Palacio, and Tooks, advocating for the renaming of Doak Stadium to the Charlie Ward Field, referred to SLAW, then rules, tabled in SLAW, and actually passed into SLAW on 7/13, so it is now in rules. Resolution 61, sponsored by Senator Garcia, Waters, Alvarez, Gabadaj, Gonzalez, Medlinera, and Palacio, advocating for the renaming of the Swanee Room to the Ava Killings Swanee Room, was referred to SLAW, then rules. It was tabled in SLAW, amended and passed in SLAW on 7/13, so it is currently still in rules. Resolution 62, sponsored by Senator Lecky, Gonzalez, Waters, Garcia, Gabadaj, Mouget, and Rudd, encouraging Florida State University to require the completion of a race and ethnicity credit before graduation, was withdrawn in SLAW. Resolution 63, sponsored by Chabot and Alvarez, urging the leadership of FSU ROTC to take means to remove any battle streamers related to the actions taken by Confederate military forces during the Civil War, was referred to SLAW, then rules. 7.1, tabled in SLAW on 7.7, or well, 7.7, and passed in SLAW on 7/13, and passed in rules today, 9/9. So with that, welcome sponsor Chabot to the floor for resolution 63. Senator Chabot, you're still here?
Hello, everybody. Switch it up a bit. We're switching computers. Let me just pull this up real quick.
You have 5 minutes whenever you're ready.
Alrighty, so essentially, essentially what happened was back during the Civil War, my computer's messing up. The Florida Military and Collegiate Institute was a battalion that fought for the Confederacy against Union soldiers in the Battle of Natural Bridge. During this battle, 21 American troops were killed, 89 were wounded, and 38 were captured as prisoners of war. And so to this day, the FSU ROTC can trace its lineage back to this battalion. And so because of that, the ROTC still uses a battle streamer that was used back then and is conflated with the Confederacy. Out of respect to the students of Florida State University, we don't think that they should have to see that and see that an organization still uses this horrible symbol to represent themselves in fighting for their freedom should it be needed. And with that, I yield the remainder of my time.
Thank you. Sponsor yields 3 minutes and 50 seconds to her closing. Before we go into technical non-debatable, Harmon, can you please pull this up for the rest of the Senate to be able to look at it? But we are in technical non-debatable questions. So if any senators have technical non-debatables, please ask them at this time and raise your hand so you can do so. Senator Sohos.
Do you guys by any chance have a picture of the actual battle streamer?
No, but I guess one can be pulled up. And Alex, I should have sent it to you in your email.
Okay, thank you. Wait, which one?
Your pro temp email.
It'll come in like the next 4 minutes. don't know.
I sent it after rules.
Oh yeah, okay. I see. Thank you.
So with that, are there any other technical non-debatable questions, senators? Seeing none, is there Senator Abston?
Hey, I don't know if you guys mentioned this all, but did you talk to any members of the ROTC, like to see how they feel about like just taking it down themselves or anything like that?
So seeing as how they are a department of the Army and a department of the Air Force, they would have to go up the food chain in order to remove that streamer or in order to change it. But former Senator Alvarez, now parliamentarian Alvarez, did talk to our student body president, Jonathan Levin, who is a cadet in ROTC. And we talked about how being a cadet would restrict him from speaking out on this. And he also talked to the leadership of the battalions as well.
Senator Harmon or Pro Tem Harmon, do you have a technical non-debatable question? No? Okay.
My lights just fell and I freaked out.
No worries. Senator Waters?
I moved into Procon.
Second. Senator Abston?
Sorry, my bad. That was a mistake.
All right, is there a second to the motion to go into Procon debate? Senator Leckie?
So seconded.
All right, with that, are there any objections to moving to Procon debate on Resolution 63? All right, seeing none, are there any senators wanting to speak in the first round of Pro with 3 minutes on the clock? Senator Murcia?
Hey guys, so I'm gonna just hop onto Elizabeth's computer just so that we don't have any confusion. But I just wanted to say, considering that we've been removing statutes and fighting to rename buildings, I think that this is very important for creating a safe space at FSU. I think that this needs to happen, and I think that this really shows support for our students. And with that, I yield.
All right, Senator yields with 2 minutes and 34 seconds on the clock. Any other senators wishing to speak in Pro? All right, seeing none, we're in the first round of Con with 3 minutes on the clock. Any senators wishing to speak in the first round of Con? Senator Gonzalez, you're wishing to speak in Con?
I move to pass by unanimous consent.
All right, I will accept the motion. Is there a second? Senator Sohos.
Also seconded.
All right, with that, are there any objections to the accepting of this resolution by unanimous consent? Seeing no objections, congratulations, sponsor. It has been adopted by unanimous consent. Woo!
Guys, and thank you, Jake.
So with that, guys, I don't know if you noticed, it's 10:52. We're on resolution 63. I'm going to read the next few resolutions because I think they're just referred to other committees. But when I get to a resolution that is supposed to be heard on the floor, I would appreciate if anybody would be willing to move to table them just so we can kind of end by 11 because I don't think it's appropriate for us to kind of be here past 11. I know I don't want to be here past 11. I feel like we've been very productive. I think you guys have had a long night. So yeah, with that being said, resolution 65, sponsored by Senator Alvarez, Leckie, Murcia, Chabot, Yanam, Hinks, and Wang, encouraging the university administration to expand the means in which the student body is educated regarding indigenous nations and reach out to other nations that use the Seminole name, referred to Slaw then Rules. 69, sponsored by Wang, Bogle, Yanam, and Hinks, amending Student Senate Rules of Procedure 512 regarding ad hoc committees, referred to rules. And resolution 70, sponsored by Senator Rudd and Stinson, Adams, Chabot, Wang, and Waters, urging for the renaming of BK Roberts Hall and SGA advocacy to do so, referred to the Racial Inclusivity and Justice Ad Hoc, then the Student Life and Academic Affairs, and then to the Rules Committee. Resolution 73, sponsored by Dean, Alvarez, Adams, Adamique, Chabot, Kuznier, Duraldic, England, Gabadaj, Garcia, Gonzalez, Hanks, Little, Leckie, Martin, Medley, Nair, Mouget, Murcia, Murray, Rudd, Ryan Sam Sohos, recognizing Dr. Danielle Acosta's dedication and service to the Student Senate and wanting to rename the Senate Award for Excellence, but be renamed the Danielle Acosta Senate Award for Excellence by a bill. Referred to rules on 9-2. It passed in rules by acclamation on 9-9. So I guess we can welcome, if you guys would like to hear this piece of legislation, we could also table it. It is not time sensitive, but it is up to the discretion of the Senate. So if any of the sponsors would like to present, they can raise their hands. And if there's any motion, Senator Dean.
Yeah, I mean, why not be a little more productive tonight and just get something quickly passed? So whenever you're ready to start the timer, let me know.
I'm ready.
Okay, so I mean, this has passed through all the different committees it came through, and it was passed over there, and it's a very simple bill to honor Dr. Acosta. She's on to different things now, and really the amount of work that she put into this university to help SGNA, to help us advance and just keep on working for the student body is really unbelievable. And this is really just a small way to show her our appreciation for that. And with that, I yield the rest of my closing.
Thank you. We are now in line for technical non-debatable questions. Any senators having technical non-debatable questions may ask at this time. Seeing none, is there a motion to move into pro-con debate? Senator Gonzalez.
So moved.
Is there a second? Senator Waters.
So seconded.
All right. Any objections? Seeing none, we are now in the first round of pro. Would anybody like to speak in the first round of pro? Seeing none, we are in the first round of con. Are there any senators wishing to speak in the first round of con? Seeing none, I will be accepting a motion. Call the question. Senator Waters.
I move to pass by unanimous consent.
All right. Bill 73 has been moved to pass by unanimous consent. Senator Rudolph.
So seconded.
All right. Is there any objection to the passage by unanimous consent? Seeing none, congratulations, sponsors. It has been passed by unanimous consent. There's no closing. Woo! Resolution 73 made it. Amazing. Virtual claps, guys. So moving forward, Resolution 74, sponsored by Martin, Chabot, Dean, Gabadaj, Gonzalez, Murray, encouraging and acknowledging student leaders in the Student Senate, Executive Branch, and all other student government entities to focus on education and accountability to create an inclusive and productive environment at FSU was referred to SLAW on 9-2 and passed in SLAW on 9-8. Sponsors, would any of you guys like to raise your hand, make a motion? It's Chair Martin.
We can table it until next week, given that there's 3 minutes left and I want to respect y'all's time.
Is that a motion?
Yes, it's a motion to table Resolution 74.
All right, so motion table Resolution 74. Is there a second? Senator Mayman.
Senator Mayman seconds.
All right, with that, no objections. Seeing none, Resolution 74 has been tabled. So Resolution 75 is sponsored by Chabot and Leckie. The Senate Judiciary Committee voted to establish a Senate Investigative Board pursuant to Statute 406, referred to Rules and Calendar on 9-2, and it failed in Rules and Calendar on 9-9. So Resolution 76, sponsored by Leckie and Gonzalez, urges the university to expand the diversity credit requirement, referred to SLAW 9-2, passed in SLAW 9-8.
A video of us hanging out, and it's too long in that video because it showed us.
Sorry.
Wow. It's really getting to 11 o'clock. Is there a motion to table Resolution 76? Senator Mayman.
Senator Mayman motions to table Resolution 76. Sorry, I had to read it.
Senator Murcia.
So seconded.
Okay, so 76 is tabled. Resolution 77, sponsored by Harmon, remembers the FSU students who passed during the 1920 school year, referred to SLAW on 9.2, passed in SLAW on 9.8. This one's very important. I think it deserves more time than we have. So if there's a motion.
Move to table. Oh, sorry.
Thank you, Senator Pro Temp Harmon. Move to table. Senator Sohos.
Still seconded.
All right, resolution 77 is now tabled. With that, we will go to resolution 78, sponsored by Sohos. Rule 1.8 and 0.9 as currently written inhibit the student Senate president or Senate president or from addressing the Senate in their defense other than during short rounds of pro-con debate. Refer to rules on 9.2, tabled in rules on 9.9. Resolution 79 was sponsored by Adams and Gonzalez, Dean, Leckie, Martin, Red, and Sam. Explained the issues Senate had to deal with during the summer of 2020, and it was referred to SLAW, and it passed in SLAW on 9.8. Is there a motion to table Resolution 79? Senator Adams.
I move to table resolution 79.
Thank you. Senator Murcia. Or Christian, all Christians say, oh, well, they're all gone. Let's go. Senator Murcia.
So seconded.
All right, with that being said, Resolution 79 is now tabled. And then in regards to Resolution 80, which was the resolution that was added to the calendar by Senator Mayman, that was describing the incident that occurred to the protesters and kind of condemning the police, the sheriff department, and other departments as well. That resolution is being sent to the Racial Inclusivity and Justice Ad Hoc and is also being assigned and sent to the Rules and Calendar Committee. So it has those two committees to be sent to. With that, we are now in unfinished business. We have none unfinished business. And now we are in statements of dissent. Do any senators have any statements of dissent that they would like to make at this time? If so, I would appreciate, yes, Senator Alvarez. I mean, parliamentarian. There we go. Parliamentarian Alvarez, did you have something to say?
Sorry, my mic was off. This was just a point to you, Mr. President, about Rule 1016C in relation to Resolution 77. Understanding the language of Resolution 77, it would fall under Rule 1016C and would need to be assigned to the Student Life and Academic Affairs Committee.
Are you talking about the one for the people who passed?
Yes, Rule 1016C lays out that such a resolution would need to go to the Student Life and Academic Affairs Committee.
It did, and it passed. And then I was already, thinking about the fact that, there in our rules of procedure, it talks about that this type of resolution should only be brought up during sine die. But I was going to entertain a motion when we do hear it next week to waive the rules and the specific rule that says that we need to hear it during sine die. But it has already been through SLAW and passed through SLAW.
Oh, my mistake. I assumed that it was on first reading. Disregard my previous comment.
No worries. But I believe, is there a statement of dissent from, oh, look at that, Gertz.
Yes, sorry. I apologize. Sorry, I had a few technical issues. But yes, I would like to place a statement of dissent.
Okay, just make sure you email it to Deshaun, myself, and Harmon to ensure that we include it on the official minutes. Thank you.
Friday
For
by
letting us... Oh, I'm sorry. I think I muted him.
I was saying Friday at 5 p.m., right?
I would say hopefully tomorrow, if you could, but I would just say email Deshaun to make sure exactly what time we'd like to have it by. I would say tomorrow morning, but if he's his Friday by 5, then it's fine with me.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you.
Of course. So moving forward, are there any other senators wishing to make a statement of dissent and say that they want to have it on the calendar? Seeing none, we are in new business. There is no new business. Closing announcements. I will keep it very, 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 very brief. I just wanted to say, I think it was 3 things. Oh, I only have 2 things written. It was it is 3 things. Remember financial certification. You have until next Tuesday to be financially certified and take the exam. Please do so. Yeah, that was one big thing. Second thing, absentee forms. if you are going to be absent, please, if it's committee meeting, Senate meeting, whatever it is, please make sure you do an absentee form. Because you text me and Harmon, that doesn't mean that you're going to have an excused absence. It'll still be considered unexcused, even if your excuse is valid because it wasn't submitted properly. And then the final thing, I know this is something that me and Harmon really do agree on, is making sure that when you email us in regards to Senate business, please use our Senate emails, the Senate Pres email, as well as the Pro Temp email, just because it allows for things to be, easily accessible for both of us, because, sometimes we're sent stuff to our personal emails, like our personal FSU emails, and that just clutters our personal FSU emails, and then we aren't even actually able to see everything because now the stuff is split. So just in the future, if you guys want to email us something, please just make sure you send it to our President and Pro Temp emails, because it'll make it easier for us to understand. And when you do send emails for minutes, you send emails to other people outside of the Senate, and you think it's important for us to know, please make sure you CC us on those as well. But that's it from me. Pro Temp Harmon, did you have anything you wanted to say?
Just that this was a great meeting. I'm glad that a lot of people participated. Probably one of the best Senate meetings in a while. And I commend President Darrell Leak for being a great chair of Senate. And I've been sitting in this chair for 6 hours, so I'm ready to go to bed.
Thank you, Pro Temp Harmon. Press Secretary Shaw, are you still on the call? If you would like to say anything.
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, so hey everyone, I just want to say really quickly and reiterate, if there's anything that you want to see on social media specifically, anything that you want highlighted, anything that you want implemented, you have any concerns, ideas, please let me know, reach out to me. I'm open to anything. And yeah.
Thank you, Press Secretary Shaw. We look forward to seeing the work you can do. With that, Parliamentarian Alvarez, did you have anything you'd like to say?
Nothing much. Just wanted to say glad to be back, glad to get started working again, and I'll be sending my contact information again in the Senate group chat in case any senators at any time need assistance with our rules, with our statutes, and with our Constitution. And I look forward to the rest of the working through the rest of the 72nd Senate with y'all. Have a good night.
Thanks. Clerk Roy, are you on the call as well? Let's see, where's Roy? Roy, would you like to say something?
Yeah, good evening, Senate. I just wanted to make a quick announcement that if you were here last fall, you may be familiar with the weekly announcements that I would send out, because often it tried to highlight RSO events and different things either in the nearby Tallahassee community or here at FSU. And I wanted to give everyone the opportunity that if you message me, you can find me through the GroupMe, then you can send any flyers, any information you'd like me to share about any important events here that you'd like to share with your fellow senators, and I will send them out every week on Friday. So make sure to send that before Friday morning, and thanks again for your time. Have a great day.
Oh, thank you, Roy. I look forward to hearing quotes from you in the future.
I'm going to include it in my meeting with my entire little pre-planned speech for it.
I look forward to it. With that, that is everybody from the Senate Leadership Cabinet. I hope you guys are excited. I am. We have a full cabinet. All the positions are filled. But with that, we're in advisor announcements. To our advisors, Deshaun, Dr. B, our graduate student, Anna, did any of you guys want to say anything?
Only thing I want to say is I echo everything that Alex said. It's been a while since I've seen the Senate meeting. They went through smoothly today, so keep up the good work. I'm proud of this. Nice to see so many bills and resolutions passed, and hopefully we can continue going this way for the rest of the semester, because I know a lot of things been going on, but just stay positive. And of course, we're always here if you all need anything.
And I echo Deshaun's sentiments. Forward to a fruitful foster.
Thank you, Dr. B. You were cutting out a little bit, but I heard your sentiments. I appreciate it. And with that, Anna, did you want to say anything? This is our graduate student, guys. Y'all.
Hi, everyone. If I didn't get to meet you last week, my name is Anna, and I am the graduate student who will be working with you guys throughout this year. I'm excited to get things moving. This was a great meeting tonight, and I have nothing other than to echo Deshaun and Dr. Bowden here. Great meeting, and I look forward to the upcoming Here.
Thank you. With that, we are in line for the final roll call, Harmon, whenever you're ready.
Oh, I was ready to go. Oops. All right. Let's get that set up. In a second. There we go. All right. Senator Adam Meek, Marcia McMillan. Awesome. No McMillan. Senator McKay, Recht Akonda. Akonda is here. I see your name. Senator Bateman, Gertz, Little, Lavender. Oh, sorry, not Lavender. All right, I got Little. Gertz, are you still here? All right, awesome. Got you. Selva Fahey Rossi. Selva, got you. Rossi, got you. Mujay Shaler Wilkinson. Shaler, all right, Wilkinson not here. Promozic England Wang. Wang, England, Promozic, got you all. Hazlett, Yanam Hall. I don't think any of them are here. Shanahan, Ryan, Lecky. Senator Sam Gonzalez Denton. Oh, Ashley Gonzalez, sorry. Just make a, for the other Gonzalez here. Sam Gonzalez Denton, all right. Senator Martin, Adams, Pendleton, Abston. Martin, Adams, Pendleton, Abston. Sohos, Diaz, Ferguson, Mayman. Sohos, got you. Diaz, Ferguson. Mayman, see you. Dean, Pedroso, Ascanio, Rudolph. And Medley, Nera, Tooks, Ross, Chabot. Medley, Nera, Tooks, Chabot. I see Ross, not here. Kalink, Lewis, Alvarez. All right, I got you. I got Lewis, and I got Alvarez. Oh, well, no, Alvarez is not here. And Senator Waters, Stinson, Gonzalez, Rudd. All right. Got Waters, got Stinson. No. Gonzalez, got you. And Rudd. And then Senator Kill.
Is there a motion to adjourn this Senate meeting? All these beautiful hands raised. It just makes me happy. Who do we want to pick? I didn't hear from Pedroso. I don't think, or Akonda. We didn't hear from you, Akonda. There you go. Come on. Do you motion to adjourn, Akonda?
Yeah, I motion to adjourn today's meeting.
Amazing. Meeting adjourned, guys. Have a great week. Have a night. Adios. See you next time. Bye. Bye-bye. Bye.